Alright, my mic is working now. Standby. Not sure why. Why is no other things happening?
It's a unit of transmission speed equal to the number of times the signal changes state per second.
Yeah, I don't speak Hungarian.
I wish you didn't speak period.
I don't speak period. It's
Yeah.
final and messy.
Alright.
Sometimes.
Well, now that our audio works, I'm sorry.
That's better. More serious.
Oh, we need Desert D.
Like a non-verbal Groose would be only scarier still. He signs with a speech impediment.
Welcome.
So, announcements.
Yes. Welcome to the stream. We are streaming.
The youth of the nation. Oh.
We are the youth of the nation. God, I've got that song not stuck in my head, but appeared in my head once. You can follow us on Twitch. I don't know if you were aware of that, but most of you probably already have. So I'm just going to pretend you have and be grateful, rather than chastising those of you who haven't.
Ooh, passive aggressive. Nice.
Yes. You can also follow us on Twitter, but I care less about that because it's Twitter. At Roll It Slant is where we're at there. If you want to see what we did in the past, that is on YouTube. If you want to see what we did in the present, open your eyes. And welcome to the stream. Thank you to Roll20.net for having us as part of their Spotlight program. Check out their virtual tabletop experienzo at Roll20.net. It's a very clever URL they've selected, as that's also their business. Cool. Also, thank you to Kevin MacLeod, who I just learned recently from this incorrect fact that I'm making up as I'm talking in this sentence, that Kevin MacLeod does all of his music entirely a cappella. It's all just his voice and hand clapping and some stomping.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
He's very talented.
He is. He has at least 4 talents, and all of them are making music. So thank you, Kevin MacLeod, for your wonderful voice stuff that you do. We're not listening to any of it now, because I feel like that would distract from the message that I'm trying to send. Last week on the last page, what happened, gang?
There was another page.
Yeah, there was.
We went shopping.
You did go shopping.
Well, before that, though, we did go to the doors of the underworld, and a big metal ram, or deer, ram, yeah.
Ram-a-lam.
Came out, and this person came running out trying to steal our boat, we think, maybe not, but had a book in her hands, and she got taken away by the underworld guards, and we just kept going with her book, because we were told by the ferryman that, you don't go through those doors. No, you don't do that, and we are rule-abiding people, so we said, see you later, thanks for the book, and made it out of there. And then we finally read our prophecy, and then we went shopping.
Cool.
Is that roughly what happened?
That's exactly what I have in my notes, word for word.
Okay.
It's weird. It's like you're...
Really? Even this part where I'm talking right now?
Yeah, I wrote all of this.
Flamingo. That was unexpected.
No, I got it right here.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like that episode of that TV show that you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's all written on paper first.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. Flamingo is exactly the kind of word I would expect you to throw at the end of a sentence. Now, if you'd gone with mega fuck, then maybe you would have been unexpected. You need to think outside the box next time.
I that is feedback you would give.
Thank you, Cookie.
It certainly is feedback.
It means a lot to me.
That is feedback you would give. I'm going to make sure our overlay is correct, and then we're going to
Oh, that's the
proceed.
feed you were talking about. I get it.
Cool. Can't stop
That makes sense.
the feed. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and away we go to
Thanks for joining.
Krenel Bend. You've been
Hey,
here
Ben.
for now a week or so back. Returned, gathering information, getting things like armor, all of those good things, spending some of that hard-earned loot stolen from people who giving their homage to the gods of the dead. That definitely won't have any repercussions. And having done some neutral deeds that have reaffirmed your neutrality in the world, you are greeted one morning fairly early, beyond which you normally are awake, with a knock on the door. Just a collective door. I'm assuming that you all stay in the same room at all points for the purposes of moving things along. Emily is there at the door.
Greetings.
Emily.
You remember Emily, she has the arm.
Yes, I'm just contemplative this morning.
Two actually.
Why?
Yes.
What?
Well,
Hey, how can we help you?
I'm afraid that
You're only here for requests.
my time spent traveling with you was quite tolerable, but this is not a social call, I'm afraid. I've been having trouble sleeping, and I thought perhaps it was staying in one place too long, and began to head north. However, something then drew me back to Krenel Bend, and way back before I entered, after having very surely decided that I was to head north for the rest of my adventure, I felt that there was standing there in the road before me, like a waking vision. I saw my parents there. They warned me that some sort of great danger will arise to the west, or has already arisen perhaps by the time we're speaking now. And it's a long fallen disciple of Pelor. I'm not sure what that means, and why that would be dangerous, but they told me that this person is in possession of Pelor's greatest gift, in gratitude to mortal kind. Some sort of relic, something like that. There weren't many details as the vision sort of blurred and disapparated, and as I find myself a bit at a loss, not really having these divine quests thrust upon me, as I'm sure you, more divinely inclined people get all the time. I wasn't quite sure what to make of it, other than perhaps I was headed in the wrong direction.
I mean,
is this...
we'll try anything once, but I don't really think that any of us are the divine, mission quest type.
I mean, you literally have two clerics. that
I'm
walk
standing
amongst
here. I can hear
We
you.
have one cleric.
What what
I'm a
Zahara
cleric.
means is that
You're a goblin.
Scorius has chosen me for great deeds in the service of Scorius, and that the Goblin God has chosen.
Obliviate.
No, the Goblin God Magluviat has chosen you as a joke. So it's just
Right, I'm the great joke at the end of the world.
yes.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to have disturbed you.
No, hang on. Do you want to? I mean, like, we're kind of between things, and you want to seek out this, like, what your parents are sending you towards in the West?
I will be headed in that direction. Yes, if there's some sort of Palor prophesized great danger, then perhaps it's a step closer to connecting all of these scattered dots in my life.
Now, out of character, Casey, remind me, the desert in my head was to the east for some reason. Are you
It's
taking
to
us?
the
It
west.
was west. Okay, so
Always was.
so my entire just geography was reversed.
Correct.
Okay, I get it. I had north and south right.
Yeah. Jungle and swamp are to the east.
I
Desert to the
literally
west.
thought it was the opposite.
Mountains
but
to
that's
the
fine.
north, oceans to the south.
I mean, we were gonna go out there.
I thought you were heading north.
Yeah, I
We're quite
don't. I
undecided.
mean, I want to go north, but I don't think other people want to go north.
I'm afraid of the north.
The north remembers. So, I mean, we'll go there eventually.
I think it would be
But
very
this
difficult
seems
to
more-
never travel north again. Yes.
Yeah. Clever. Yeah, but I think that, I mean, this might give us a bit of more of a purpose to go west.
I feel obligated to help my friend Emily. So,
And if you seek
fine
traveling
going west.
companions for this quest, I don't see that we would. I personally can't see anyone objecting, and I do not. Although, if someone feels like objecting, please do. All right, then it's settled. We shall help you. If that's what you actually seek.
Help would be appreciated, yes. How soon can you leave?
Now.
But
Weren't we thinking
Yeah.
about going very soon?
yeah, now.
Well,
Where are we
just need to-
staying? As soon as we make good with the people we are renting this room with from, or
We need to do something with Ondine and Caspian too.
Well, they could come.
oh, I thought you meant something. We need to do something about it.
We're gonna put them down.
I worry a bit that it might not be safe for them out west.
I feel the same. Maybe we
And
should
yet-
just give them a stipend.
Storm crows aside, I don't think it's safe for them anywhere.
That's true. It's up to you all, but I don't bear any responsibility for their safety.
I mean, I'm not 100% certain that we do either. Alright, we didn't intend to, but now we kind of do. You know how sometimes people just sort of adopt you?
No.
Chris, you've done that with everybody you've ever met.
I don't adopt them. I befriend them.
Okay.
Yes, give us the morning. We will make ready and go with you. Have you secured travel passage, or
There
are
are,
you interested in seeking out a caravan to join for a while?
there are caravans and guides as such. Probably the best place to start. I can try to secure one while you take care of whatever business you need.
Do say that I'm an accomplished healer. through divine right, and that might make us more valuable to a caravan traveling.
That is a fair point. Well, I'll meet you back here midday.
Okay.
Maliath will take out the last of his wax bomb and shine up his armor extra shiny. It's brand new. He's been really, really talking about it all the time. It's like, look at the detailing on this.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I'm getting this the correct size. What a genius that unnamed smithy was.
Yeah, he did a great job bang up there. I mean, except
You
the
come from.
little dent in the back is a little suspect, but you can't even see that, so it'll be fine.
You can't fool me. I've memorized every centimeter of this. Show me just in case.
Oh, no, that's actually my reflection. Sorry, I was good job polishing that. I can see my pores.
Yeah, maybe don't polish it that much. People could also see us coming. That desert sun, you'll be like a beacon.
Ah, I'm blind.
I feel that anything that would blind the enemy is perfect.
Okay.
Blinding. I'll think about spells tonight.
So, what are you all up to? It's kind of early for all of you. Are you going chipmunk watching?
Not
We're going
today, sadly.
to the desert.
Yeah. It's about time you got off your butts and did something. We'll pack up and have everything ready to go. It'll be fun. A little road trip. Heading out. I'll get some pineapples.
Why pineapples?
They're delicious.
That's true. It takes 2 bites.
I don't know what that means.
We're not. This might be quite dangerous.
No, pineapples are pretty simple. You just cut off the spiky bits.
No, not the pineapples. The desert.
Oh yeah, I've been to the desert before. It is quite dangerous.
Yes, but Ondine hasn't.
Well, they are their own people. They can come or not come.
It's true. As adults, I can't impose some denial for you. Your free will.
I mean, are you guys coming back here, or are you just gonna go there forever?
We're
will
probably
miss
going
you
to
if
go
you
We
there
go.
just
for-
kind of take things one day at a time.
All right.
I can make no promise that we will ever return.
Well, I'll talk it over with Ondine. She's been plucking up her courage a bit. She got a squirrel with her bare hands the other day. It was kind of impressive.
But why?
Why?
I don't really know.
Concerning.
Don't you think that might be a little bit
Malias
of a
has a
cause for
very impressed look on his face.
concern? I mean,
Damn rodents.
what did she do with the squirrel?
I don't know.
Bare
She made a
hands, you
really
say.
good stew later that day. That was my guess. No fur though.
Generally, you remove the fur first.
I'm going to walk this way now.
All right. Well, you all have a good day.
We're leaving at noon.
So, what do we need to do
Wait a minute,
before
have
we
we
leave? Sorry, go ahead.
confirmed he's coming? Is he coming with us?
It's really unclear.
He's going to speak with Ondine, who will likely make the decision for him.
Oh, all right.
And
all right.
at that point, he will likely be right next to us for some reason.
Okay.
But they're adults. What are we going to say? No?
Do we all have rations?
I actually was just doing that math, and I would like to take
They're
care
not
of that
adults. I did the math.
for the party.
Oh.
To do 2 weeks of rations for all of us. So I was just kind of doing that on the side. So I will take care of that for us.
Thank you. That's a godsend.
And then any additional, if want to tack on a little extra for like different like special ingredients or whatnot.
Oh, I
So
have
it's not just hardtack. I maybe want to get,
I have a question. Um, h- how many animals are there in the desert?
4.
Oh, Groost. We could do something very interesting. If we come across some camels or whatnot, it would really help with Eloise's stamina if we let
gonna have a hump.
her feed on some desert hardy animals. It would increase her endurance. I mean, based on my observations, I think that's what would happen.
Chupacabra or something.
Oh, chupacabra.
Always known for their desert hardiness, those chupacabras.
If we're taking a caravan, maybe just in case I could bring some chickens along?
Also very much known for their desert hardiness.
Well,
Yes.
I don't want to, gamble that we just stumble across some desert hardiness.
I mean, you can definitely deal with the chickens.
I would hope so. I'm a 6th level cleric. But I mean...
I summon chicken.
It's like, I know I'm a 6th level cleric, but the chickens did get the best of me, I will own to that. Their little beaks are so
Summon
pointy.
food and water to be changed to summon live food and water.
I love it when
The
my
water,
is
it's alive.
That's a water elemental.
Yeah.
I told you
So-
today was going to be a shopping episode.
Yeah, it ended up being that, and I hate it.
Hey, Casey, without meaning to roleplay this out, I want to get some caged chickens to bring along to provide Eloise with sustenance.
Golden chickens, black, red speckled hens, white.
Black and gold.
All right.
Is
But
there
the
a
ch- the
variety
cheap
mix
kind.
like my chips box come in?
Okay. Barbecue,
Barbecue chicken sounds
salt
good.
and vinegar.
This is the last thing I need to say about what I need to shop for, but it's 49 gold for the rations for the 2 weeks. If I was to add some extra, gourmet items onto that, would you want me to add another 10 gold just to make?
That would be
Well-
an incredible. That would be
Yeah.
add 1 gold.
All right.
Unless you're like, we're going to eat gold as rations.
No, that's why I
Where'd you
wanted
get
to.
that
I
spice
didn't
from?
want to
Yeah.
overshoot too much. All right.
Yeah.
So
So
I
like
have done
around 50 is fine.
okay, cool. I'm done.
Eating a roast dragon for dinner.
Don't tempt me. I will make that happen. Okay.
It's funny because I had planned for a dragon to eat roast you for dinner.
Ah!
Dragons and dungeons.
So, anything else we need to get? Or do?
I'm good.
Okay. I'm prepared. I have my desert pantaloons on.
I look at them. Do they look different?
They're sandier.
Okay. Well done.
You have previous desert on them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do think that Olive would have fashioned some of her kerchiefs and stuff to, be like a mask and go on her head and things like that. Probably would have taken some of the bed sheets, to be honest.
All of the people in Krenelband are just like, why are they dressed this way?
Sahara looks exactly the same, but also looks very disappointed about the fact that there's heat coming.
All right. Well, there's nothing else left. Caspian returns to say that Ondine has other plans in mind.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Congratulations.
If you need any help, call upon Maglubiet. Say you're a friend of a friend.
Does that work with Maglubiet? How do you pronounce it again?
Maglubiet.
Maglubiet?
That doesn't seem
Does he
correct.
believe in friends?
Well, I believe in friends. And I believe in Maglubiet. Therefore,
By the transitive property of belief.
I just
Correct.
realized that Maglubiet, to me, Cookie, looks like David Bowie, the Goblin King.
Oh, you've heard of him?
I have. Very much the labyrinth and whatnot. So anyway, continue.
All right. Well, so we got that going for us. Meeting back as you all gather your belongings and head out, Emily directs you towards sort of where the caravans muster on the western part of town. There's appears to be 3 carts that have been loaded up. 2 of them are attached to camels, and the forward one has 2 horses on it. There are 3 men there, an elf and 2 humans, looking dressed definitely for travel, wearing lighter linen clothing, and sort of a wash of earthen tones and such, as they're all sort of standing somewhat, patiently just waiting, and Emily returns. These are the group that I was talking about. They'll ensure safe passage along with myself. As long as your guides will make sure that we'll follow along and keep up and get to wherever we're going safely. Is that good for everyone?
Yes.
This is Trial, Emile, and Donovan.
Hello, I'm Ghost.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Olive, I will make sure you are fed well during this time.
We have brought in our own foods.
Oh, but I mean, like, I'm an excellent cook. I can use your food too. Like, it's fine. I'm just saying it'll be more pleasurable than. It's fine. I mean,
Do you
it'll
like
happen.
eating the same cookie for weeks?
Oh my God! I brought one tin of cookies on a
They
trip
were
with us
good
for
cookies.
2 weeks, and it could have been no cookies.
It could have been no cookies, Grace. Would you
I would
prefer
like to-
that?
I would like to retract my complaint.
Is everything good for us to head out?
Well, we're unclear about whether or not we have more people coming with us.
We do not.
Oh, we are not unclear.
Yeah,
are clear.
Aunt Dean said she had other plans.
She's made new friends.
So that's good to go.
Mhm.
Go.
Have any of you done Desert Passage before?
No,
No.
but I have walked through a field, which really is just the desert of the green.
Well, you are quite small in stature and can get
Correct.
easily lost. Don't wander off. If you wander away from the caravan and storm comes, you'll never find your way back. So we stay together. Keep an eye out for the storms that roll through. They are fairly frequent, especially as we get to this time of year. And hopefully the days are not too hot, but we'll move at a slow and steady pace.
Are there many camels in the desert?
Not that aren't domesticated and pulling carts. No, they're not free range roaming about.
Are there other animals in the desert?
A lot of more monstrous things deeper off of the roads. Some birds occasionally. It's not an abundant biome for fauna.
Understood. Well, if ever we come across any animals that we can capture, I would like to try and grab one to feed my friend.
Remember my first tip for you?
Don't get lost in a storm.
Speaking of, is there like a signal for if we do like go too far, like kookaroo, kookaroo, like that type of thing? So like I know, like we know to find our way back, or like,
Why not just shout help?
well, that could be anybody shouting help.
If you can,
Could be anybody shouting cuckoo.
if you do find yourself lost and nobody knows you're gone, then we'll probably keep forging on. So if you are separated for long periods of time, see if you can find your way back to some sort of trail, and maybe somebody will get you. But without supply of water, you won't last very long. That's why I said don't wander off.
What if you wander off? Should we come and find you?
No, I'm not going to wander off.
I mean, my kookaroo plan doesn't sound that far-fetched. I'm just saying. I look to my party like kookaroo. Yeah.
Well, everyone can pick a cart.
This one.
So there are 3 carts. The first one has 2 horses in it, or 2 horses in front of it.
Get pulling!
The people are pulling. These are our prize stallions. They'll go. The back 2 are more covered, I believe, and the other one is. The forward one is open. Actually, no, I lied. Only the back one is covered. So 2 more open ones that have sort of barrels and crates and stuff in them, and the back one is, covered over in canvas, which is largely open, has some water and some foodstuffs in it.
I'm gonna get the covered one.
I'm going to be near the food, the water, and the shade. You can fight amongst yourself for the sun-scorched barrel carts.
Cool. Nothing. We won't rotate or anything. That's fine. We'll
Bruce begins to spin.
in the middle. Is there room for? Is it like only room for like 2 people?
Probably 3 people is probably the most you can get without like squeezing in the back of a cart. They're not huge carts.
All right.
Where do the chickens go?
They can get sort of stacked onto one of the open carts. They drape a cloth over, sort of canvas thing over the top to give them some protection from the sun. But Groose, he does sort of point at them. They're most likely not going to last the whole journey, so I'd recommend if you're going to eat them, do it sooner in the journey than later, or you might
Okay.
Let's just say chicken's less delicious when it's dry.
Isn't that the truth, though? It really is.
All right. Well, here's hoping for good weather. There was I think, another small caravan group that left earlier this morning, maybe about 6 hours ahead of us. So we'll hopefully have their tracks to follow us and keep us going.
All right.
Be careful. You're currently foreshadowing.
We'll want that shadow in the desert.
All right, and they load up the carts, and off you go. To the west, it's a little bit of a bumpy ride. The camels pull the carts in a little less smooth of a fashion than the horses might, but you do plod along, kind of, walking speed. But all of you have chosen to hop in the carts. It'll be easy enough to keep up. Takes maybe about 3 or 4 hours before you really start getting out of, the areas that are more green and forested into areas that are more arid, and you begin to sort of travel through some badlands. There are occasionally a couple of, small, little 2 or 3 house building clusters of things sort of as you're headed out. So it's not like, immediately all uncivilized. And you do finally get to a point where you sort of switch back a couple of times, cresting up onto a larger hill. And as you sort of get up on top of the hill, you then see, looking out across a very vast sea stretching from below at the bottom of the hill all the way to the horizon of golden sand that just sort of rolls and dunes, and you can see that there is a bit of a more gravelly, hardened stone path that kind of snakes its way through some of the dunes, but very quickly it gets kind of lost into the heat racing up off of all of this, as you can just sort of see that the horizon isn't this nice clear-cut line. It just sort of blurs and distorts after the hot air is rising. Sun beaming down, not a whole lot hotter than it would be sort of standing not in the shade in Krennel Bend, but you can definitely sense how not having shade is probably going to, make things a little bit worse for wear. And onward you continue into the desert. First couple of days takes a little bit of time to get used to the travel. Everything is slow going. There's not much to see. It's fairly monotonous sand dunes. It does at night, as it gets dark, begin to get cold and colder, and at night it can get fairly chilly. Nothing like sort of like you're gonna freeze to death, but the temperature swing is pretty dramatic. And about 3 or 4 days in, the winds start to pick up in the desert, and it becomes much slower going. Probably estimate that you reduce speed to sort of about a half or a third of what you were doing before. The sand just sort of whips off the top of the dunes and pelts through every time there's a gust. You have to have your face covered to kind of keep it from getting up your nose and in your mouth, and it's just sort of generally miserable. There are some spots that have, little clusters of rocks and stuff that you try to pull in and sort of make a fire next to them, but there are times where you just sort of have to stop on the road and let sort of things blow through.
I think during this travel, especially when the winds are picking up, I do summon an unseen servant to help shade me. Just to kind of, because I'm a woman, I'm getting hot. Like, it's just like, it's really bothering me. So I have, conjured this unseen service to help kind of like either like, hold up a tarp or just kind of shade me, or just like kind of like help me cool off. If I see somebody else from the party struggling, I send them over to them to kind of help out and assist as well.
All right. Is there
Olive.
anything?
Yeah.
I think this caravan is haunted.
Oh, I definitely think it is.
The top keeps hovering.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Do you think that we need to give it an offering or something? It's been pretty helpful.
Maybe.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Of course.
And I have the unseen servant take its hand across Grit's neck in the back and then just keep going.
Kirby is save me.
All right. Everyone make a nature check for me.
My specialty.
I've heard of nature. Does ring familiar. Worry not.
16.
All right.
For Olive knows.
Olive, you, in the period of about the first sort of week and a half, you notice that the days seem to be getting longer at a rate that's much faster than, than a normal seasonal change. To the point now where there's sunlight for a good, probably like 17, 18 hours a day, which is a lot of like just hot sun, and the sort of peak daylight hour, the peak sort of noonish hours, that extends for maybe like 4 to 6 hours. That just like sun beating down over the top of you.
I am gonna go and talk to Emily, and say, you know, when I used to read a lot of the books in the wizards that I worked for, they had lots of different books on geography or whatnot. They were boring, but I just wanted to read everything. This sun pattern is not normal for this region. Is there potential that this prophet of Palor or whatnot could be having an effect on this length of the sun?
Palor's domain is sort of light and the sun itself, so I imagine there's a connection there, though Palor is, from what I knew from my parents, recognizes the need for balance in things. You can't have light without sort of the other side.
He might be known for that, but not every follower follows their god to the letter.
She just sort of like looks over at Cruz.
Palor once mocked Scorius from high in the sky upon the sun, and he thought he was out of his reach. But Scorius reached up from the heavens and grabbed Palor and threw him, and that is why the sun passes in the sky each day.
Seems as credible as most of the things I've heard about the gods.
That's true.
Aglubiet's really tall.
That might be true.
David McLubiet belly.
Some people like to take the word of the gods and warp them to their will.
All right.
It's just a thought. I mean, surely not your parents, but other people might do that.
I mean, I would say that anyone who practices religion or wields it as a weapon does interpret beyond what an actual god's will is. I think the gods like to watch people who think they know try to apply a little bit of power they're given.
Clerics, am I right?
Yeah.
Yes,
What?
I was speaking about clerics. And
Yeah,
pet
yeah.
paladins.
I just keep looking above people.
I think that's the conclusion that kind of Olive comes to, you know, kind of putting those two things together. Unless anybody has any other thoughts, I am happy to hear other thoughts, hypotheses, what you will.
I have no ideas. I could maybe... Nope. Wait. Nope. Don't have that spell yet. Never mind.
All right, you plod forward into the next sort of evening. The nights now are perhaps only, 4 hours or so long in darkness, which is starting to be a bit trying in that there isn't that period of things getting cooler, and it's also, not darkness through whence you can sleep. However, yes.
Oh, I was gonna say, if it gets to be too taxing, like we really need more rest. I got all this. I'm so prepared. The tiny hut to make a more temperate zone, to make it darker, so maybe we can get rest for a bit longer. So.
You are prepared.
It is a welcome bit of respite to have a brief there. Please account for the spell usage.
I would like to cast it as a ritual. So.
Boom.
From the description doesn't have ritual in it.
It just says casting time 11 minutes.
It does in my D&D Beyond as ritual.
Okay.
Let's see. Tiny hut.
I really wish they would include ritual and or whatever.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
pour
right there.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that night, and towards the end of the day, the wind starts picking up and swirling, and you sort of get the warning from your guides that this is indeed a storm, and from the looks of it, one that is probably not just something quick and passing. They see sort of a section of slightly taller rocks that jut out. All the rocks are kind of blasted smooth from sand over the eons and come up to sort of no higher than maybe like 20 or 30 feet above, sort of just these large boulders. And heading in, you do get a little bit of shelter from the sand on one side, although it is sort of swirling about. But as you crest around sort of into this slightly more sheltered area, you see through this sort of whirling cloud of tan sand that something on the path ahead of you is quite bright, and it glows in this sort of haloed sort of like, street lamp in the fog thing, but from it extends up sort of like this single ray of light upward, sort of at a 45-degree angle. Just, it's hard to tell how far ahead, but it is quite bright, and you can't really tell any details because it's sort of all diffused through the storm as the carts sort of clatter to a stop, and you can hear the camels sort of spit and kind of back up and step a little uneasily. One of the horses brays in front of you, and your guide gets off. I've never seen anything like that before. This is where you earn your keep, I suppose. Good luck.
Got me.
Well, get my shield on.
Do you want me to try to sneak ahead and take a closer look at it?
Do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do what you gotta do.
Kookaroo away.
I don't know
Don't do that.
what that means.
I mean, I'll know. It's our signal. I'll know. I mean, I know we didn't use it at all unless like we can ask.
Look
but,
at me! Look at me!
Kookaroo.
gonna-
Like,
I'm over here.
As this conversation is happening, Zara is stealthing away.
You too!
you did the Homer Simpson back into the sand.
Yeah, into the sand, dude.
Alright, go ahead and make a stealth roll, please.
Oh, that's tasty.
She's
Alright.
lost, or Zahara's
Don't even
lost
know
to the
where I
storm.
am.
Lost to the storm. We just need to push on.
We could
Alright.
never find.
She's gone forever.
So, you kind of walk a few steps forward and are out of view because storm. But walking quietly, sand swirling around you, where are you going?
I am trying to get a better idea of what the thing with the light is.
So going towards the light.
Going towards the light. Something
Alright.
that has always historically gone well for people.
So one thing you do notice is that while you can see the light fairly clearly, as you sort of get past the first wagon, with this sand swirling about, you get maybe about 30-40 feet away, and you cannot see like the wagons in the back, and you can only just make out the shape of the wagon in front. And you're guessing that the light is probably, it is getting closer and larger. It doesn't look like it's a huge object that's doing this. It's a very bright light, but the object it's coming from, the center of it, is probably, I don't know, no larger than like maybe a grapefruit sized thing.
Okay. I don't want to leave sight of that front wagon, but I do want to try to get a look at what this thing is. So trying to discern it through the sand.
All right, make a perception roll with disadvantage.
19.
All right. It's a bright light. The object that seems to be emitting this light, the hot spot, is about the size of a grapefruit, and from it, shining sort of up and at an angle, just sort of up into the sky, and eventually does sort of dissipate. It doesn't just like go on forever, but it's just shaft of light that comes out of it.
And I can't get a look at like what kind of creature might be holding it.
It looks like it's coming from about ground level.
Ground level.
If you're assuming that the ground is doesn't dramatically change level in the next sort of 30 feet away from you.
So as in there's like a globe of light that's moving along the ground that's also
moving.
shooting a beam of light?
Not moving, stationary.
Stationary. But I thought you said it was coming closer.
Well, it's closer to you because you have moved closer to it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were saying that it was coming closer to me.
No. So you're about 30 feet in front of the forward cart and about, you guess, maybe about 30 feet from it.
I guess I'll move forward like another 10 feet.
All right. Things remain largely unchanged, except for it's a little bit brighter to see, and the carts behind you are all but invisible through the storm.
I'm gonna go back to the carts.
All right. Can be done.
Well,
So,
I say it's just popping up behind people.
Ah!
what was it?
Who's there? Oh,
It's kind of like a globe of light that's sitting on the ground and shooting light up into the sky.
how is it so bright that we see it in this ridiculous storm?
Yes.
I don't know. I want to tie a rope to something before I try to go closer to it, because otherwise I'm going to lose the caravan.
Did you get close enough to feel if it was hot?
No.
There are people guarding it or things, traps.
I saw nothing but the light.
Okay.
Were you blinded by it?
I was blinded by the light.
Wake up in the birds.
I was just making sure.
Tonight.
So I can, if I tie a rope to one of the carts, I can try to go all the way up to it. If it's dangerous, that will probably not go very well for me.
Well, if you wish, I can trudge there myself.
I could also trudge there.
I could watch you all do it.
Olive, we will need you if magic needs to be dispelled.
I can dispel magic.
Olive can probably
yeah.
do it better than you.
But just because she's bigger than me doesn't mean that she's more talented than me.
But that is the case, isn't it?
Yes,
She's both
but
bigger than you
yeah,
and more talented than
But
you.
Yeah.
the two aren't correlated, and that's the important thing.
Not
It's
at all.
irrelevant. You stated
No,
two facts.
I did. I always state facts.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I mean, I'll go. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want me to stay here with the rest of the caravan?
Probably wise, yes.
This doesn't have anything to do with your, was it a vision or dream or a waking experience?
That's why maybe
was
she
a
should
waking
come with us.
experience. I don't know if it's connected at all. It could just be a clever ruse to get people to stop and ambush them.
It has made us stop.
Well, whatever clever ruse is involving a great storm, bravo. Strong magic. I wish we could detect it. Groose?
I am capable.
Olive is ritually casting detect magic right now.
All right.
Wait.
As everyone just sort of nervously...
Waits.
Wait.
Groose, since this is taking 1 minute as well, Groose will ritually cast augury.
It's 10 minutes, but...
It's 1 minute, isn't it?
What is your augury? You tell me what the casting time is. If it's ritual, it's 10 minutes.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's
She's
10
ritually
Yeah.
she's ritually casting detect magic. So if she's doing that, I will ritually cast augury. If she's not doing that, I will not ritually cast augury.
I am ritual casting.
Then 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
And what is your augury course of action, please?
Heading into the storm without a rope. Actually, no. Let's show you.
Skipping
Heading
every
to the
fourth step.
heading to the storm
Facing
towards the light.
eastward.
Heading to the storm towards the light.
All right. And what does your ritual look like? How do you determine meaning from what are you doing?
Bruce's ritual looks like he pulls some old finger bones out of his bag, sort of polishes them, and then just like throws them into the sand, kicks them with his feet, and then picks them back up, polishes them, and puts them back in his sack.
All right. As you watch them sort of scatter, and then sort of the time and dexterity with which you're able to then pick them up after kicking them, you are able to discern no real feelings, as if there's no real impactfulness to what you're about to do.
Good news, everyone. McGloobiet doesn't care about what we're doing.
I'm not certain that makes me feel better. I'm gonna go tie this rope to a cart and walk into a sandstorm.
I would like to come with you.
Okay. Best friend squad. I
Best
fist bump
friend.
Bruce. Did I go forward to the front of the cart?
Also, detect magic finishes. You currently don't detect any magic that is not, part of your party's stuff. I don't know if she's gone. Did she BRB?
She was taken by the storm.
Okay. Well, no magic detected from sort of in the area of the caravan.
Alright, I'm gonna tie the rope to the furthest forward part of the cart that I can. I have 50 feet of rope.
All right.
And I'm gonna walk towards the light again. Quietly.
All right. As you head forward, Groost, are you going as well?
Yes.
You go out, slowly moving forward until you feel a little sort of tug back behind you as the rope goes taut, getting very close. It's very hard to look directly at whatever this glowing orb is, but getting probably about 10 feet away from it. It's uncomfortably bright to look at. Not quite as like stare at the sun bright, but it is like you look at it, then you look away, and there's a bright spot in your vision there. It just sort of go. It does sort of beam out. Ooh, our production value is out of control.
That's annoying.
So, looking down at it now, though, you can see there are occasional little other things in the ground that aren't emitting light, sort of sticking up around it. Hard to tell what they are through there, and you do see some sort of larger, just shadow of a shape past everything. If you can give me an investigation roll, I might be able to divulge more details.
Regular or at disadvantage?
We will say regular for now.
I would have. Is this all of us or?
They've gone ahead. Let's go. Let's catch them up.
Your detect magic, Olive, you don't, in the area, the vicinity of the carts, there's nothing but, your party's stuff.
Okay.
14, looking around.
Too much sand.
So the end of the rope, there are some smaller things that sort of jut out of the sand, like a foot or so, kind of more spindly in shape, and then beyond, it's still just sort of like this sort of nebulous, sort of larger shape. It's maybe, you guess, like 15 or 20 feet by maybe, 5 to 10 feet tall.
Time out.
None of this moving.
You said, is there a foot sticking out or something is sticking out and it's a foot long?
About a foot out of the ground.
Okay. I was like,
A foot is a foot out of the ground.
Keeping in mind you're connected to the rope and you're still about 10 feet away from this.
Thoughts, feelings.
We should go towards it.
Olive, did you detect anything off this thing?
not yet.
Okay, so are you going up with them?
Yes.
Yeah, we were catching them up.
We determined. Yeah. Sorry.
So heading back up that way, the light itself, the orb is definitely magical. It has a very strong rating of evocation magics. And you do see with your sort of like night vision, magic vision, all of these little spindly shapes that you can see have very faint sort of necrotic magic. You wouldn't say it's bright enough to be like an active thing. It's just sort of like, you know, residuum of the necrotic persuasion.
Okay.
Residuum.
Well, you guys can't see residuum, so
Yeah. So I kind of, get closer to them, and I point out the circle and the spindly. I'm just trying to still visualize. I'm sorry. The spindly things. They're coming out from the center of the circle?
They're just kind of, from what you can see from 10 feet away, because you're all, the thing is 60 feet in front of the thing, and you've walked 50 feet on the end of a rope there, so you're still 10 feet away. The spindly stuff that's coming up is sort of scattered a bit. It does sort of stretch kind of like out away from where the orb is, off to the right a little bit.
So is there ways to avoid walking through it, or is it just kind of like shimmering, like spindly everywhere?
It definitely sort of goes in a path out away from it, so you can avoid it. But with an 8 investigation, you're not really getting much. So
okay, yeah, like I describe, what I saw, and if I can, try my best to get us to avoid, walking through it or whatnot, trying to avoid some of it if we can. So
I would like to roll a religion to see if this circle has some kind of religious significance.
Go for it. Beacons of light and such have been used in the past sort of as, religious, iconography, as in like, come into the light is good, that sort of thing. From a practical standpoint, you can like, cast the light spell, but this is something like a little bit more intense than the light spell, but you'd guess is probably not like, you're not looking at something that's likely like, only the most pious person could create this. It's just sort of like a, souped up light spell type effect. Who or what would do something like this, or why it would be in the middle of the desert, sort of doesn't ring true with any kind of religion that you know of.
Boreas has tenets about the other religions and how they act. This does not match any of those tenets. This is likely some sort of device of a arcane nature, although the symbology is rather nice for sun gods, etc.
That's good to know.
How's it going up there?
Cuckoo! Cuckoo!
Seems pretty fine.
Cuckoo! Oh, wait.
There's a
Sorry.
bird woman in my ear.
Did Emily come with us? I'm so sorry when I had to leave.
Yeah, she
stayed with
stayed. She
the car.
stayed with the other ones in case there was like, an ambush or something.
Gotcha. Well, we continue?
Yes,
I
we
think-
continue.
Right. as you walk up and approach, it's one of the, you kind of have to like hold your hand up to block whatever like sort of the direct light that's coming off of this. The beam sort of going up off at an angle is a very kind of focused beam. It's probably, you know, after even like 5 feet, it's sort of completely diffused. Not quite as focused as like, you know, like a laser, but
Pew, pew,
going.
pew,
And
pew.
as you start to get in, you know, within 5 feet or so of this, all of you do see that this is actually kind of nestled right behind. Looks to be some sort of large piece of bone that has you know, been mostly covered over by sand. And then looking back, it looks to be these spindly things you've seen sticking up look to be other fragments of bone sticking up out of the sand of some sort of, you know, kind of like vertebrae or rib cage type setup of something large, definitely not like humanoid size, and it stretches off for maybe about 10 or 12 more feet from that. Looking beyond, now that you've gotten a little bit closer to that shape that you saw out past all of this, looks to be an overturned cart, and you can see that it's kind of flipped on its side, and it looks like the entire center of it has just been like completely shattered, and then it's kind of like collapsed in, as if something sort of burst through it or something like that. And you do
Sandworms.
Does-
Muad'Dib.
So the necrotic energy is coming off of these bones, correct?
off of the bones themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I take a look to see, like, if I look at the different shapes of bones, like Olive putting together the puzzle piece of what this could possibly be, like, you know, like looking at, you know, the different, like, just from what she's kind of given to see what it could belong to.
Make a nature check for me, please.
Okay.
Does this seem to be about the same size as the Titan skeleton that we saw?
No. It is smaller than that in terms of like the bulk of the bones. Looking it
Okay,
over,
24.
Olive, from what you can see of the bones and such, even though the head is obscured, you're guessing from sort of the way they're like sort of laid out and kind of roughly aligned, this is something that's like serpentine or snake-like in its constitution. You don't see like limbs or anything. It's just that lots of these sort of like vertebrae and kind of ribbish type bones.
So I think this might be a very large snake or serpent, perhaps.
What about the orb? Let's destroy it or disable it or maybe even redirect it.
I don't like big snakes.
I mean, I can try and dispel it if we're prepared to do some consequences from that try.
Wait a minute. What's it firing at?
Just sort of heads up into the sky. It does look like it's in the context of what's here. It looks almost sort of like just randomly like lying in the sand, and it's not a perfect orb by any means. Like the little like if you kind of like
it's oblong.
if you shield yourself looking at it, it almost looks organic in nature. So it doesn't look like it's like a man-made like, you know, globe or something.
What kind of biovore left this here?
Can I how close are we?
I mean, you are all right around this thing right now. You're maybe about 10 or 15 feet from the overturned cart, but you are all sort of right around the glowing object.
Okay. I think that I want to see if there's anything living inside. So, I want to use my my feet to do detect thoughts to see if I can see if there's like I want to
Use
get
your
this.
feet. You stick your foot on it.
No, I have the telepathic feet. Oh, I don't need to do I could do kookaroo in people's head. Oh,
What the
cool. Anyway.
Isn't a kookaroo a dagger? One of the daggers?
I don't know. It is now.
I think so.
So it's a very, precise paring knife. Anyway, but I want to see if there's, damn it, sorry, just display the card. I'm so sorry.
Oh!
I know, I'm sorry. But basically I want to see if there is a creature or like person in the middle of that light. Like I want to like just get a mind sense of like, is there somebody there?
Cast a spell action when you your turn. You can focus your mind on any one creature. The spell fails.
Okay, that's fine.
How close to the
that
card?
I can see. I can't see them in the light.
How
Okay.
close to the overturned card are we?
About 10 or 15 feet.
Bruce wants to go over.
All right. Heading over to the overturned cart. Definitely looks like, so the cart itself is like on the side. It's on sort of the two wheels with two other wheels kind of pointed up. It looks like something has kind of burst through the middle of it, which would be kind of like the floor or bottom area. It is splintered and then kind of fallen in on itself. Some of the wheels have shattered. The yoke is kind of broken off and stuck in the sand. There's some scattered goods around. You do see that there's some, looks like some evidence of battle. There's parts of the cart itself that look charred almost, definitely sort of subjected to intense heat. And you see there's, some broken shafts of arrows and some sort of like fletching and such about. But other than that, just like a big mess.
Okay. Any bodies around?
Make an investigation roll.
$13.
None that you can see.
Guys, somebody burnt the cart down and broke it in half and stole all the people.
How would they steal the people?
Don't know. Maybe we just continue on. And be careful.
Why don't we disable this?
You said that the orb looked natural.
Bruce wants to
It's
take
not, It's not like a perfectly geometric shape. No.
I'd like.
It
I'd like
is
to take
incredibly hard to like look at for any length of time.
What's the size of the orb? Like, are we talking like beach ball?
No, not even. Sort of like
coconut?
Grapefruit, coconutty size. But it's not. It's sort of a little bit,
Pomegranate?
I thought it was like bigger. Sorry, that's why I was like, I want to. Never mind. Olive is gonna reflexively cast mage armor on herself, though.
Alright.
Just
Bruce.
Nope.
getting a little nervous, and
Bruce is gonna throw an item of clothing over the top of it.
It's invocation.
Alright.
your desert pantaloons.
Tossing it over. What are you putting on it? Is it opaque?
I think it'll be reddish. It's opaque. Reddish.
Alright. That didn't really answer my question, but
I said it's opaque
it is opaque.
and reddish.
And reddish. So tossing it over, immediately, as you would assume, a bright sort of beam of light sort of interrupts the light, and all of your eyes are sort of like, and it's no more light. It's covered. Seems like the light has been blocked.
Bruce wants to squidge whatever it is. Is it hard? Is it soft?
touching it, it is kind of in the middle. It's sort of like feels organic, but it's not like squishy. The outside is a little bit tougher, but it has some give to it. It is warm to the touch through your whatever you tossed over it. You're guessing if you were handling it directly, it might be like still holdable, but like uncomfortably warm.
Sorry, did you say it was or was not squishy?
It wasn't like, it's not like stress ball squishy, but it has a little bit of give to it.
Okay, so it's not an egg.
No, it definitely doesn't have like a hard outer shell. It's kind of like, you know, like that shrimp texture. Like, you know.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
Groose wants to listen to the thing. Does it make any noises?
Go ahead and give me an investigation roll. As the wind whips around and such. It makes no noise.
Sounds
The
like
more
this.
you say. What the fuck was that?
It's the laser beam.
Well, I have the thing. Do I kick it? Do I do
Oh!
Why would you kick it? We don't know what it is.
it? One way of finding out what it isn't.
Bruce, dispel it. Then we can investigate further.
Okay. Groose will dispel the magic.
Great. Link dispel magic for me, please. And you're choosing this object, I assume?
Yes.
Alright. You cast... You cast it. There's no... It being wrapped up, you don't notice any difference. After, 10 or 15 seconds, it feels like it's getting a little bit cooler to the touch.
Groose peeks under.
There's no light.
My face.
So... what do I do with this now?
Looking at it, it's sort of...
Feed it to...
It almost looks like a petrified organ.
Oh.
The right stuff.
Well, the prophecy had something to do with organs.
Could I identify what organ it might be?
Make a nature check.
Spleen.
Groose wants to sniff it.
It smells vaguely sulfurous.
16.
Looks to be roughly in the shape of a heart for some sort of large creature.
This is a heart.
We can make a really, really nice stew.
I don't think I want to eat this.
Yeah, heart borscht is pretty good.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like,
Need
looking at
cabbage,
it
though.
and feeling it, it doesn't feel like, it's not like this was just in a living creature. It is, like, somewhat decayed and petrified. It's also kind of charred a little bit on the outsides. It is sort of like this pale orangish color. Does appear to be very faintly still glowing a little bit. Like, it seems like it's just like, starting to glow again. Not like super bright, but
Olive, is the magic still in the area?
Is the magic still in the area?
No more magic is coming from this thing, but the bones still have the same sort of residual necrotic energy to them.
Not so much
Eloise.
this, but the bones. No, it's petrified. She'll break her teeth.
Well, they're really sharp.
No, she's not eating it.
Feed her a woodpecker. She can get in there.
She's not eating it.
Why not?
Why would she eat it?
Why don't we ask her? I wouldn't stop you from eating petrified,
You should.
but I
If
wouldn't.
Olive started trying to take a bite out of something that was petrified, you should stop her.
We all eat.
Listen, I know magic and I know food, and that is not food. It is magic.
But can magic not also be food?
It can, but I'm saying, like, in the Venn diagram of magical food, it is not there. It is in the one circle that's not in either of those.
In the Scorius diagram,
How
I
do we
also
know?
agree. It's not food.
Listen, all I know
I
is
lick it.
I've
Ah!
okay.
All right. It tastes disgusting.
It is not food. It's gross.
It tastes kind of like spoiled meat, but like fully crusted with sand. So it's like if you had meat that was like, had gone bad and then it was charred a bunch and you dropped it in the sort of thing of sand, that's exactly what you get. All of
Dry
those
aged
flavors
beef, though, is delicious.
and the
listen.
texture of the sand.
I care for you all too much to let this be food. It's not food. It's not food.
Is everything all right up there?
Right?
Cuckoo!
We discovered not food.
Mm-hmm. So, it's. Are you satisfied that this isn't food?
We've
but I
all
will
learned an
let it-
important lesson about
I
not
will,
licking
I will
things.
let it go for the future. So what do we do with it if we're not going to eat it?
I don't know, put it in the bag of holding.
Well,
Yeah,
or
I think-
discard it. Put it in the bag. What are we keeping it for?
The
Because
bag's gonna
it's
stink.
prophecy.
Well,
What prophecy?
the prophecy of mountains, oceans, and organs. This is one of
I
the
thought
three
that was
things.
up the north.
Listen,
Okay.
people go on.
Don't look a
great quests.
petrified horse or heart in the mouth.
No, I mean, I have read so many people's adventures, and rarely is everything that you need found in one place. People journey the lands trying to do something. This totally checks out.
Doesn't check out the door.
The lung, but it's one part of it. We should the heart of Krekto cast under the golden seas. Golden seas, that's a desert. To heal life again into the crypt of woe. Oh boy.
But it was on top of it.
Or what, maybe somebody's already
Bastion.
cast it.
Maybe will be casted under the golden seas to heal again into the crypt of woe, the bastion of protection hidden for all time.
So, does that mean we just keep going?
Is there any effect on the storm?
Storm
Oh, yeah.
seems to be doing the things that the storm does. No effect.
Oh, so just poor timing.
Well, I mean, we've got the thing, so we should just go, right?
Yeah, let's go back and report what's ahead to include the necrotic bones. We don't think those are danger, but we should avoid it anyway, right?
Yeah, but the cart, did it look like it have claw marks on it, or did it just kind of like squish?
It got like
It looked like something large smashed it. And then there are areas of it that look charred, almost like burnt.
Maybe we make a little bit of a berth around this. Right?
Sure.
Instead of going
Well,
straight
we
through.
report it to the actual caravan and they can make the decision, but yes, we should recommend going around. I agree.
Okay.
What do you find?
Blown up cart. Skeleton.
giant petrified heart that also shoots magical light out of it, and isn't food.
Normal desert shit. Presumably.
No, none of that's normal. Whatever
yeah,
it was,
it's not.
it was right in the trail.
There's also a destroyed wagon up there.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Well, it might be good, because it might have
Pull
already
him in
had
tight. There's something out there. The other two carts, sort of, you hear them just sort of roll in as they... Normally you travel maybe sort of like 30 feet or something apart, but they sort of come in a little bit closer.
I show Emily what we found and relay, just kind of like the cart, the necrotic bones. I let her know about the prophecy because I realize she's not in on that yet.
Okay. What do you tell her about the prophecy?
I pull it out and we read it together. I'm like, look, like this is like, the heart. I mean, maybe it could be an organ. It could be just chance, but we were given this.
Where did you get this? This was from that halfling man?
Yeah.
What you're holding is not the heart of Crecto.
Oh, what am I holding?
I have no idea.
How do you know what the heart of Crecto is?
Because I've seen it. I've touched it.
Huh? What?
Fair enough.
It's the reason and she looks down at her arm. It's the reason my arm is like this.
Oh, where did you go to do that?
On top of Mount Cracked. It's considerably north of Crenel Bend. The heart of Crecto is a giant sort of crystal fragment.
A dark crystal.
Was sort of darkish purple in color.
Yes.
But that's definitely not it. Whatever you found is desert stuff.
Well, I'm glad I talked to you about this. But it is kind of weird, though, right? We've got this prophecy and it talks about organs. And golden seas.
That's probably the desert.
Well, yeah. I mean, I got there. I got that part. But I got the heart part wrong. Okay. So are we taking a defensive caravan circle here until something goes by us, or what?
You all said that you'd protect everything, so you tell us. It's
We
the
should
best way to
move along.
protect
Keep
from
going.
this. Alright.
And try to avoid that area up ahead.
Well, we're gonna have to go close. You can't just take the carts out into the dunes.
I think maybe we should stop and form up in a defensible position until the storm passes.
No, bad idea.
Why?
Because we don't know how long the storm will be, and the more time we spend out here, the less supplies we have, and also the more time things have to ambush us.
We should move along.
Should move along. Trust me, I've done my fair share of ambushes in my years.
All three of them. So
Okay.
we trudge forward.
We twudge.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone back in. Keep your eyes out.
I'm gonna stay up at the front of the caravan.
Oh, my eye.
Why is this helping us?
I just want to keep an eye out for anything that looks dangerous.
Alright.
I'll stay in the middle caravan so I can be close enough to heal whomever.
Perception checks at disadvantage for anyone who's
Yes, please.
brings a go. Alright,
Bruce does
and
not do well with ability checks.
You
16.
begin to head on forward, and you do sort of go, and you realize that the wagon that was overturned looks like it was probably on the path that you're on before it was knocked, and it as you sort of head towards that direction and go by it, it's probably like 20-30 feet off the path. From how hard it's been hit and moved, if it was on the path to start with, going, and you head past things, and after about 15 or 20 minutes, everything is just off in the distance, and you continue on into the desert. Make camp, as you normally do. And then, following day, storm seems abated a bit as it clears and gives you some more visibility. It still swirls about, but sort of more like a Cookie's picture in the background. There's just sort of like these gusts of wind that kick up clouds that sort of obscure parts of the desert. Sort of like if you're out to sea and you see like a squall coming, you just see this like moving mass of rain, but here it's sand instead. And as you continue traveling through that day, the sun gets sort of up to the peak of the sky and doesn't seem to continue further.
So they weren't related to each other.
So the sun has stopped at the high point.
Yeah, somewhere. I mean,
zenith.
It looks like it might be moving, but so slowly that it's like not like hours go by, and you're like, I feel like this should be lower on the horizon, and it's there. You continue to trudge on through the daylight, through another sort of slightly more rocky, less sandy area. It's been hours since you think about noon should be, and you're guessing that it should be like 8, 9, or 10 at night, and the sun is maybe only like, at a 2 o'clock position. There are sort of shadows being cast, and sort of judging the fatigue level of everyone in the caravan, pulls up and stops as you all go to make your camp sort of in little shadow of this sort of big rocky outcropping up above. Goes up a couple tiers, maybe about 30 feet or so. Sort of brief, very rare bit of shade that can be found. Sweat pouring off all of your brows. It is very hot.
Keep my cloak way up over me.
I will, if we're resting, I will cast the dome again to help make it more temperate on the inside.
Right.
Ritually casting that.
So you will need to be long resting here, theoretically. This is sort of like the end of your day. But sun is still out in force.
I'm in pain.
All right.
This seems wrong.
So are you, you're all going to rest and this lasts for 8 hours?
Yes, it does.
9 creatures of medium size. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you and 3 of the drivers. So all but the animals can go into the hut because they are not of medium size.
Mm-hmm.
And spell fails if it includes blah 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 blah. And this lets you make it comfortable in here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can also make it if people would like to rest a little easier. I can make it like
uncomfortable, yeah,
dimly lit or dark, but we can still see through it.
Okay, so you can see out. All right. Yeah. Cool. So that's your condition to rest this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Any other provisions?
I will keep watch for the 4 hours that I am awake.
If you need additional water, I have the spell prepared at all times. Create water. You can bring this out to your animals more frequently since they are having to endure an unusual amount of heat.
That'll definitely help.
I would also like to use my chef's feet. I cook with my hands, not with my feet.
Gross.
To make some of the like kind of preparing to eat it in the morning because I can make it over the course of a long rest.
All right.
It's your tiny hut a kitchen.
Listen, why wouldn't my little tiny hut have a kitchen?
Kitchenette.
So, keeping watch, please.
hot pot.
Make a perception check for the watch.
Perception check.
I will do this.
Are we not sleeping?
Well, she said she was keeping watch.
Oh, 10.
All
I trance, so I guess I'll keep watch for the first half.
Don't cheat. The light switch is for turning the lights on and off, not for light switch reeves.
All right. And I assume where are you putting the tiny hut in relationship to the caravan and all of that? So you got kind of like your caravan, and then there's like this big rocky outcropping off to your left that goes up.
I think that I might put it against the rocky outcropping, viewing out towards the caravan, you know, like, so that way we kind of have, there's one less thing to look at from behind us, you know.
We should give the animals the shade.
I'm sure the rocky outcropping isn't, I mean, like,
there's enough shade to kind of like pull the carts.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I wasn't thinking it was like one like cliff.
I was for some reason thinking it was like one rock that we're like, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, outcropping to me means like this.
Yeah.
An outcropping.
Well, I suppose that's one.
An incropping.
I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
So I've now been through the desert, and that horse over there has no name.
It does have a name. You just haven't asked it yet because you guys
Nope.
are a bunch of rude assholes.
Nope. Nobody mentioned anything.
All right. So, as you all try to get a bit of rest, going through with Zahara staying up, looking around, the wind whips through, and Zahara, you are startled by a large, loud crashing sound as you see a giant sort of serpentine head burst up from right next to the front cart and dig its fangs into the horse there in
Nameless
front.
Big snake, big snake, big snake!
Oh God!
And
Serpents!
we will all roll into initiative in a moment when I move you over, and then we will take a little break, pre-snake break.
Snake break.
All right.
Wait. We have a camel?
Yeah. You have two
Yeah, we had
camels.
camels.
Oh, I didn't realize.
This is sort of the tiny hut. There.
Poor camels.
Damn, my mage armor would have faded. 8 hours would have passed since we saw that thing, or no?
Yeah, a whole day has passed.
Okay, all right. I just want to.
Hey,
Did we get a long rest since we saw that thing? Okay.
Since because you went through, there was like that night you rested and you've come back. You haven't finished this long rest, but.
But we had one long rest since we saw.
Since the other thing, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
All right. Cool. Is everybody on here? No, not nearly. I feel like we're missing some people.
You're missing
Emily. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing Chris. All right, and the people in your caravan are non-combatants. That's why you're here.
Oh, good to know.
All right. Cool. So we will take our 5-minute break here, and then we will head back in to see what we can see here. And it's gonna be a doozy.
Cool.
Oh, you can't see the. I drew a circle, but then I didn't show you. Also, you guys forgot to say what you did with Stumbles, so I killed him.
Did Eloise eat Stumbles?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
More of a snack.
Here we go.
They're
Picking at
friends.
Stumbles.
It's not quite. This is a little bit bigger, but it's fine. Cool. Ice cream or whatever have you. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Go. Go, go, go. 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 Get your ice cream. Go. Go. Go.
Go.
Into the desert.
Oh my God.
Ready, go.
Oh my God.
Go. Go.
Sir, why are you sinking?
Welcome back, everyone. This is from a video game screenshot.
Nice. Nice.
I don't know exactly what game though.
It's okay.
All right. Well,
Wait.
Okay.
Is this taken from Rust?
I said I don't know which game.
I think it is.
Is you trying to like?
All right, are you ready for your desert battle music?
Yeah.
Made entirely with sounds from Kevin MacLeod's mouth.
And stomping.
All right, I'll turn up the sound for a sec. Ah,
It is a bop. Thanks, Kevin.
Kevin should do this professionally.
The other one that had desert in the title was like an 8-bit soundtrack. I think I might use that one next week. Okay, cool. So, Groost, you're up first. With a spectacular initiativo roll.
We must save the horse friends. Come into battle. 5, 10, 18, 20,
are we all awake? When
30.
did this occur?
I did start yelling.
Dashing. 35,
you
40,
did.
45, 50, 55, 60. Shield of faithing.
Alright.
That's all.
Sounds good. You see, Groost, as you run as fast forward as you can, bursting from the ground, another
We're back!
snake there, and off to your left, yet another one.
Go back, go back, go back, go back.
As the one closest to you sort of rears back towards this camel, Groost opens its jaws wide, and you see in the sort of the back of its head, sort of right where its head meets the base of the spine, you see that same sort of glowing organ that you found before. And it is starting to glow brighter and brighter as you look at it. It is going to, that one that has just appeared is going to fire a sun ray at you. In this direction.
Don't have to do that.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Sure.
Alright, 21 will save, so you will take half of this damage. It didn't roll me damage.
Oh, God.
This is hard to do with my hand. Alright, let's see if that works. Half of this damage. There we go. 16 points.
16. Okay, DC 10 saving throw.
Ooh.
With advantage.
I didn't roll so many.
Okay, Shield of Faith is gone.
Pew, pew, pew.
Alright, the one over there is going to nom through that first horse, so that one horse is gone. This one is going to come crashing in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
Yeah,
5, 10,
Yeah.
15,
I know.
20,
Yeah.
there. Okay. That'll be their turn. Zahara, as you see Groose just go running in, sort of scamper to a stop, and all of these things coming out.
Alright. Which one was the one that fired off the ray? Is it this one by the camel?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to the caravan people. I'm gonna say, get in the other one and run away.
Get in my belly.
Oh, no, don't run away. We'll never find you. Wait, I gotta tell you. Help me, help me.
Guess I'm gonna be bonus action dashing.
I'll be back in a second. I need a napkin.
So do I go for the one that's going for Groose, or do I go for this one that's gonna eat the camel?
The camel. Bruce is replaceable.
Oh, it's not.
Groose cannot pull a wagon, it's true. Alright. Then I will...
Maybe next spell level we can get Olive to take polymorph so we can have Bruce pull wagons.
Oh, I've been eyeing polymorph. I can't.
It's a great spell anyway.
I can't make Groose big, but I can make.
You can
Oh,
make
I'm
Bruce
not-
big.
Remember, enlarge reduce only makes you normal size. I was going like
Oh,
in my
yeah.
head. I wanted something epic for Groose
Right.
to be huge.
We need to,
Running
like,
and bonus
alt back
action
and
dashing to get myself to here.
Okay.
And then taking an attack.
Alright.
25.
Does not hit.
Casey is joking.
It
You
hits.
can't tell because she has a triangle smile.
12 points of piercing damage. And
Alright.
magical. And that is all that I got.
Alright. Molly is going to 10, 15, 20, 25. Oop, she can make it there. She's going to slash out at them with the Shard of Fury.
I can no longer get to melee range. Damn it.
That will hit from her. This does.
That sucks.
12 points of slashing damage, and as it flashes with radiant energy and strikes in, it is absorbed into that sort of central organ. It doesn't appear to have any effect. Okay, Goliath, you are up.
I'm so proud. Look at Grush go. I've never seen him charge into battle before. He's finally growing up. Oh, excuse me, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You might ask and wonder why, but I have a funny feeling more chompies are coming. And then from a distance, since Radiant has been tried, let me Toll of the Dead the one that I should still be able to see the one near Zahara, yes?
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Okay, I figured as much, but I wasn't sure. There's a cart
They
there,
kind of
so.
like, coil up a little bit like a cobra ready to strike.
So my Toll of the Dead has a DC of 15, and it is missing hit points, so I'll click that button.
This is a wisdom.
And oh, wow! I rolled big.
Wisdom
I
saving
hope
throw.
it fails.
12.
Oof. 22 necrotic.
Nice.
A 10 and a 12. Can't beat that. I mean, you can, but mathematically unlikely.
Alright. Anything else?
As a bonus action, no, nothing.
Olive.
I was busy making a token for my people that I forgot. 6 creatures of my choice, 40 feet. All right. I am going to, as a bonus action, let me just make sure I've got this right, because it's the first time I've used it. I would like to manifest mind, and
Oh, I needed.
conjure forth the mind of my spellbook Cosima. So while the oh crap, hang on, sorry, I realize. Oh, I'm just gonna step outside the hut and it dissolves. So I'm gonna step over here, so the hut goes away once I leave the hut.
All right.
Okay, so conjure forth the mind of my spell book. As a bonus action, while the book is on your person, I can cause the mind to manifest as a tiny spectral object. Casey, I just put the token in the Discord. If not, I can draw something as in the meantime.
Why does the hut go away?
Because I walked out of it.
Oh.
Yeah. But I can't cast magic through it. So, like,
yeah.
it's either stay in there and, you know,
Well, this is going interesting out there.
right. Okay, and I am going to, I'll draw it for right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
just make it
put,
work.
yeah, my book there. So Cosima comes out, and it's manifested in, I couldn't quite find the art I wanted, but this is what I see in my head. It's kind of like a book, you know, flapping like wings, but a frog writing it.
Interesting.
You gave me the. She's got the frog drawing in her book. She's working with what she's got. So anyway, Cosima comes out and comes there, and through Cosima, I can cast it if I was in the spectral mind space. I don't have to do it right now, but it's kind of cool to do it this way.
So it can be
And I would
you're
like.
there.
Yeah, I am going to cast slow in a 40-foot cube.
40 feet. Is it really 40 feet? Yeah, 40-foot cube. Jesus.
Yeah, 40-foot cube.
God
cre-
damn.
Creatures of my choice.
Oh.
Yeah, so not my party clearly, but I want to get the snakes in that 40-foot cube. So I believe I can do that.
I just drew the sides of it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna move everything. Don't want to do that. And if you can select creatures,
Yeah, the snakes. They have to.
I need a Warhammer Holy Within or Within ruling here.
If any part of the
Yeah.
creature is in, they can be targeted.
Oh,
Dropped on all of them.
okay. Affected target speeds. But I'm trying to see like when do they have to make that throw?
Right away.
It must
Yeah,
Or
it
be
is right away.
affected by
It's
the
right away.
duration. You
Yeah,
don't have
okay.
to keep the square there. It was just for
Yeah.
targeting.
We'll
Oh.
start at the top left and then go top right and then down. Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom of 15.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Not doing too well here. Alright, so the bottom one.
Why'd you have to say that?
This one is slowed and this one is slowed.
Slow down.
Okay.
Slow.
And I'll that's concentration for me, so I'll put that on my token.
Alright.
And that is my turn.
Alright, Bruce, you are up.
Also, I just realized when I did my turn, I actually moved into and then out of melee range of this one. So if you want to make an attack of opportunity with that one on me.
Did not, so I will not. I will have to go back and
Little
redact.
Groosters is going to do
Pterodactyl.
is going to try and save himself here by inflicting maximum damage. Gonna do inflict wounds at 3rd level.
Oof.
All right.
Inflict wounds. 16.
16 just hits.
3rd level does this much damage.
Oh no.
Pretty miserable
What is
roll.
that?
Oh
Miserable
no.
rolls. 21.
Alright, still seems to do damage though.
Bonus action,
No.
Shillelagh. Oh, also, I would like to activate my Fury of the Small, which, so an extra 6 points of damage to that.
Okay, and what does Fury of the Small read as? Just for my edification.
Once per short rest, you can deal extra damage to a creature with a size larger than yours, and the damage is equal to my level.
Okay, so it's just on anything.
Yeah.
And that was 6 more?
6 more.
And it's of the same type of damage as...
It just says 6.
Yeah, it says extra damage,
6
which
extra,
means
okay.
it is the same type.
Okay.
And bonus action Shillelagh.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
Sounds good. I would like Zahara to roll me a d6, please.
Wonder what this is for.
Oh no.
All right.
No!
That one reels back as the radiant energy goes, and thank you for already drawing that. The beam comes out from it. I'm going to need dexterity saving throws from Zahara, Groose, and Emily. And here comes the sunray. Here comes the sunray, dude.
For Groose, as a reaction, we'll be using Absorb Elements.
Alright.
Wait, actually, this is-
it's
isn't
not
this-
an
this is
element, I
radiant?
don't think.
Spell character. Oh, I don't think it matters.
Triggering type of
Doesn't matter.
damage. Yes, it does. It's in your triggering types of damage. It's not listed
Wait.
on the description. It's in the spell.
Oh, hold on.
If you look at reaction, where it says reaction,
Absorb
what did I say?
Elements.
Dexterity save.
5.
Okay.
Let me take a look. You're probably right.
13 is a failure. So what is this? 29. Jesus. All right. Well, Emily's not in very good shape. Wait. Why didn't that do it?
Why does every quest giver die? No.
She's not dead.
But
She's-
we're cursed.
I know,
she has
I know.
5 hit points.
Let's-
Absorb
All right,
Elements.
so the
triggering
DC
type.
is... Oh, it's not written on there. DC is... Fuck, where is the DC written?
What?
DC is 13. I'm gonna add that to it, just in case. We use this again, you know. All right, so that's one is that action.
Where do I see this, like... Absorb?
Absorb
Oh,
elements is in.
Like, I see Absorb Elements, right? But for
If you look up in the spell thing on.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just going
Yeah,
from,
I see. Yeah, I found it now. It's hidden at the bottom. Which you take when you take acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. Okay, so this.
So radiant isn't the triggering.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. This next one is going to. Yeah. Is going to move up. To here. It's going to take an attack of opportunity from Emily.
It can't. Oh, that one is not slowed. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, from
so
Emily. Never mind.
She will do that for only 8 more points. This one looking fairly damaged, but still reeling back, is going to make that same Sunbolt attack with this line. I think gets everybody there. It's 60 feet. So another dex save from Emily. It doesn't matter if She makes it. Doesn't matter though. Actually,
Well, it could matter for ultimate death.
Yeah. So here it comes. DC is 13. Oof.
Garoost is fucking just beamed to death.
All right. Emily is down. She's at 0. And this one has used its thing. The one up here that is slowed is going to chomp down and eat that other horse up there. So that's one cart's transportation down, and the other one can just, and that one can't move or do anything. Oh, did you make it? It dropped.
I lost concentration, so slow dropped. Unfortunately.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. I can always do it again though.
Okay. Emily is down. Alright. She is 1 in the green. Moliath, you are up. As you see lots of these beams of light flying through.
That's not good for all. Luckily,
I got skipped.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I
just assumed that you were dead.
I'm not dead. My turn won't take me very long. I'm just gonna try to stab the one that's by the camel. The camel is not a combatant, is it?
Negative.
it bites you. No!
Unless you like free it, it is not a combatant. I like that you're defending the camel with your life, but the rest of your party is just getting massacred below you.
Yeah, your best friend is to your south.
What do you want me to do with this for you?
You don't have to justify. You're saving that camel for your best friend.
I am. Rapier attack. No.
Very good.
All right. Roll damage for me.
Oh god, I hit the camel, didn't I? Oh god!
All right. And as you swing back, you skewer the camel in the side. It is a pretty hardy camel, though, and it's not dead!
Okay.
It is very badly wounded, though.
Wait a minute. I thought we left you behind with what's her name? Oh, that's you, Zahara. For a second, I had... Never mind.
All right. Anything else? Movement?
Nope.
All
well, actually, yes. Bonus action, disengage. And I guess I'll go 5, 10, 15.
Since you disengaged, it won't provoke from the camel.
Understood.
You got some spit in your eye with that natural one.
Yeah. Is the camel gonna try to kill me now?
Yep. All right.
That's fair.
Oh, look whose turn it is. The camel's gonna make a strength track with advantage because it's like fight or flight right now to try to break free of its bonds. It will succeed, and it will use its movement to shake itself free of everything. So this camel is now on the loose, on the rampage. Moliath, you are up.
Damn it, Cassian. Alright. Question about the 2 horses in the front. They both dead?
They look pretty dead. One of them has, been chomped down pretty.
I know one of them
lovely.
was. I wasn't sure if both were.
Yeah, the other one used its action to chomp through it, so.
Okay. Clearly, I have the mass healing words. I will include the camel.
Nice.
Up to 6 creatures of my choice within 60 feet that I can see. So,
so that can get. The other dudes haven't taken any damage. We'll just say that they've sort of slowly,
drifted back away.
Headed away from us.
Good. Yeah. So Olive, clearly Emily, Groost, Camel, and Zahara.
All right.
Danka.
Camel's back to full.
Ha!
It looks confused but grateful. Any movement?
Well, it doesn't look like another one's showing up yet, so I guess I have to now assume that we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not quite close enough. Hello, Camel. And hopefully the camel's not going to think I'm just the bad guy. I'm done.
All right. Olive.
Okay.
Ah, dang it.
What, did you have something?
I did.
Bonus action?
No, a standard action because Mass Healing Word is a bonus
Oh,
action.
yeah, take your action.
Okay, I will use the necrotic Toll of the Dead on the one straight north of me.
Okay.
DC is
Wisdom
15,
save.
and I have to click
7.
this.
Not doing well in their wisdom saves. Oh well. Does fail. 13.
More average this time. 13, good.
Still good. Still good.
Not bad, not bad.
Looking in pretty rough shape. Alright.
That's it.
All of you are up now.
Okay. So I want a ruling on the Broom of Flying.
Goodbye.
I don't see anything in there that says action or bonus action, and like it's tagged with movement. So is it like part of my movement to hop on it and
I will
fly?
say that can be your free item interaction.
Okay. Okay.
I would say that stuff like the broom comes back to you when you speak another command word would be like an action, because that's like
fair.
using a spell.
Okay. How high up is the top of the
Although,
outcrop?
do you keep the broom like on you at all times, or is it in the bag of holding?
I would have kept it on me because that's
Okay.
that's her escape route because she's so flimsy. How high up is this outcropping?
That one's about 10 feet. It's like 10 feet to there, and then 20 feet up to this one, and then
All right.
30
So then
feet all the way to the top.
Olive is gonna fly up to the top of that outcropping up here.
Okay.
And damage or slow? Sorry. All right, I'm gonna try slow again on the 3 snakes. They should
Okay.
be in.
Yes, there. Only one of them is currently not slowed.
No, it all got dropped because I lost
Oh, okay.
concentration. Yeah.
Um,
That's why I'm casting it again.
so this is, I'll go
I'm just really after that last one.
top to bottom. 1, 2, 3.
Ah! So the bottom one is now slowed where it wasn't before. Okay. So, and then, as my bonus action,
Wait, Emily got
Hey, Zahara, you're flanking with the camel.
I don't know. Is the camel friendly to me?
No, it is not.
He's unfriendly to that guy.
as a bonus
He's the
action,
enemy of my enemy, my friend.
No, they're just both your enemies.
But if the camel is attacking the Naga,
as my bonus action, I can move the book
She's
30 feet.
Naga
So
and
I'm
I like
gonna
it.
move, like, Casima's gonna fly over there.
Flippity flop.
Yep. That's my turn. And I'll just kind of hovering on that, on her broom from up above.
Roost.
And cackling? Are you cackling?
Bruce will push himself to his feet,
If it wasn't so dire,
Nice.
she would.
go for the one he's been hitting already. Inflict wounds at 2nd level.
Alright.
Oh, that's not the right thing. This is the right thing.
19 will hit.
He did more.
More than my whole 3.
Alright, and that is enough. As you inflict wounds in on that, it thrashes about, and then lays back in the sand, and you can kind of see that the organ at the center of it is still sort of glowing and casting off light, but it appears the creature is otherwise dead.
What's over here?
Well,
like-
you're
And
adjacent
we-
to the camel. Do not leave the camel's reach.
And we'll use my bonus action to hide.
All right. Make a stealth check.
16.
All right. You cannot be hidden from this one because you haven't broken line of sight. But the other one you can sort of.
Doesn't matter. Goose is just like.
You see,
Cowering
feel,
is different than hiding.
you feel above you, like fanning you almost. Is the book kind of like flying above you?
All right.
Goose just
Token
carries
in a
harder because of
square.
this.
I would like a D6 roll from. Let's do Goliath this time.
What?
We're about to get beat.
How many of them? Just one?
Just one.
There you go.
There you go.
Just
Nice.
one it is.
All right. The one down here is going to use its beam,
Aha!
which is,
Is
the beam itself is 5 feet wide.
Yes, but you can't say then it hits Malias and the one diagonal to him, right? Because that would be 10 feet wide.
I can say it hits Maliath and Groost in this.
I don't.
Yeah, that I would agree with.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
It's 5 feet wide though, right? So
Don't these have to come off like a corner? Am I wrong on that?
So on a grid, by the way, since you're just using
I don't know how it
actual
works.
lines instead of the grid rules, on a grid, as long as your pattern, you could go 3 diagonal up 1, 3 straight to the
Yeah.
east, diagonal up another 1, and still hit both of us. So
Yeah.
in both
they can
methods,
go like
we're
this,
both
right?
struck.
Yeah.
Right. As long as it's equidistant
Consistent,
each
yeah.
time, each increment change.
I tend to just
Same.
go by like if it goes through the square and
Yeah, that's fine too.
okay, and it's 5 feet wide. So dexterity saving throws from both of you, and Sunray is coming at you from
Pass.
that one. Oh, not
Cook,
too
I just
good.
want to make saves.
No, no, oh no.
Chris is flattened once more.
All right.
DC 13, that's no good.
Yep.
I'll take 23.
And let me see something. This one is going to turn and lash out with an attack against you, Zahara. This will be just a regular boy. Actually, hold on. It's not going to do that. The little organ in the center of its head just sort of glows and then lets out this pulse of light. It's going to cast Mass Sacred Flame. So
What?
this is on every creature within 20 feet of it. So this is Groost,
Camel!
Goliath, Camel, and that's Constitution saving throws for this one.
Oh, something I may be able to do.
All right.
Maybe.
20.
And Campbell.
Camel survived the desert. It should be fine.
Camel fails. So
Aw.
this is 12 points to anyone who failed, or no points. So sucks to be
No
a camel.
points.
Camel looks charred and burnt again. Okay, and it is Going to move here, and then start slithering up onto this rock around behind you. Zahara, you are up.
Okay. I will take an attack with my rapier.
That'll hit.
10 points of magical piercing damage.
Alright.
Bonus action disengage.
Wait, did the camel attack it? Attack up too?
It did not.
Camel is a secret lizard ally. And
It is literally only angry at one thing right now.
which is why I am not getting within range of the camel.
We shall miss her. The camel was too much.
Going there.
Okay. It is Emily's turn. She's going to take a step forward and take a swing at this one. 18 will hit for her. Doing 12 points of slashing in there. And that's her. Camel is now breaking free. 5, 10, 15,
No,
20. The camel's gonna make a bite attack against you.
The camel just got set on fire by the Naga! Yes,
24?
a 24 hits.
Alright. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Noted.
I like how its bite is bludgeoning damage.
What they got
those
those
are some
mashers?
blunt
Yeah.
teeth for chewing grain.
I like that somebody thought about it and was like, should camel's teeth do piercing damage or bludgeoning damage? And then they probably talked about it, and then they were like, bludgeoning
I
damage.
very much think it was the opposite. Oh, I just put in whatever.
No, I think it was very well,
I
'cause
think they thought about it.
bite damage is normally piercing.
Right, but the intern that was just typing it in that night.
Alright,
Just say
Malaya,
typo.
you are up.
Hey, all right.
Camel number
Well,
one.
it looks
seems
like-
angry.
Looks like I don't see a health bar on Emily, so I'll assume she's a cold.
She does look somewhat wounded. She recalls
somewhat
she was
wounded.
down.
Well then, in that
I
case,
didn't update her token from last time I did this, but
I shall cast as a bonus action Mass Healing Word and hit the party again for 13 more.
alright.
The camel.
Including the camel. Maybe we can control it with an animal handling or something.
Alright, Camel's
Maybe
back at
groups can
full.
make friends.
Great. Well, Groost, Zahara, Emily, Olive even, and myself.
It's nice when you can heal yourself, right?
Whoop. And at that point, I'm going to use my standard action to go ahead and throw the damage at the one here in the north. It's been hit a few times. I've hit it twice.
Okay.
I know Zahara's been stabbing it. It's got to
Is
be
that
close.
The same thing.
Hmm?
Wisdom.
Oh, yeah. Toll of the Dead. Let's do this. Kick.
Nope. Can't roll to save its life. Quite literally.
I hope it does not save its life. But I only
That
managed to do
one
15
is
more.
down.
Boo.
Do I save against slow every round?
At the end of its turn, I believe.
Use my movement to go 1,
Creature affected
2,
makes another wisdom save
Alright,
at the
so
end
that
of
one-
each of its turns.
So that
4.
one should make a save.
5, 6.
Alright, slow is still going. Okay.
You saw my movement, I assume? Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
I do see it.
Let's say, go into flanking with Emily. I am done.
Alright. Olive, you're up.
Olive is going to, create a chromatic orb and it
Love
starts to burn or like a icy cold. And she's going to cast it at second level to the remaining.
Alright. 17 will hit for. Why did it
Okay.
roll so many dice?
I don't know. It's been rolling a lot of dice for everybody. Like, so 11 points of cold damage.
It appears effective. Anything else?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Cosima happily flaps. It's the first time she's been free.
Fanning Groost.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright. Groost, you are up.
First will push to his feet. Can't make it. What do I do? Ghost will toll of dead.
Alright. 15.
Don't worry about it. Ghost will flee of dead.
Forget about it.
Where can I stand to make myself as unappealing to beam as possible? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Bonus action, hide.
Okay. And Naga's turn. Can I get who hasn't rolled a d6 yet?
I have not.
Go ahead, Ruth. You're much closer.
I'm also eaten every single beam so far.
Excellent. Beam recharges.
I'm sorry.
So this one is going up at you, Olive. As
It can go up?
it can.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why I went up. 6 feet long and 5 feet wide.
In
60
any
feet
direction.
long. Oh, fucking hell.
All right. I need a dexterity saving throw.
I'm good at those.
Bruce is like peeking up through the spokes of the wheels, like, oh no.
Oh, cool. Cool.
All right, so
Uh,
29 points of damage, please. So the DC is what? 14? So you just make concentration? Because it's 10 or half the damage.
my
whichever
DC
higher.
is 15.
Well, you're saving for concentration.
Right.
So your a concentration check.
Oh, it's
is
that. Sorry.
It's 10 or half the damage, whichever is higher.
So it
And
fails.
so half the damage is 14. So it's a success.
Oh,
Just
it's
barely.
okay.
So you succeed on that, but you do take the damage. And it is still slowed. It will save against the slow at the end of its turn. And
Why
there.
isn't...
No, it's still slowed. All right. Zahara.
That's
Wow, they got a lot of beam recharges in here. I like
Yeah.
I am going to disengage from the camel. Bonus action.
Get away from me!
Running away from the camel.
Damn, am I right?
There.
Sorry. That's all I wanted, really, was that.
And then I'm going to drop my sword at my feet, and I'm going to pull out my crossbow. And I'm going to take a shot at the Naga.
Okay. 25 will hit.
Alright, with Sneak Attack. Finally.
21.
This is not magical, if that matters.
Does not.
And that will be my turn.
Alright. Emily is going to make an attack at advantage. Good thing. And
Nice.
only 6 points of damage gets through to these things. There we go. Campbell's turn. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It will make a spit ranged attack against you.
Does it really have that?
No.
I was gonna say that's a
Uh,
lot of thought. Acid damage or something. Oh.
Maliath, you are up. So the one in front of you looks in pretty rough shape.
Good. Yeah, good. We need that to happen. Yeah, so I'm gonna attack the one in front of me, but I'm not gonna really enjoy the flanking so much. My weapon's paltry. It's really just for show. And I will use the Toll of the Dead.
Wisdom saving throw. Saves.
It's about time. And so that was my standard as a bonus. Everyone's looking okay excepting for Olive, but I'm gonna wait for a sec. Actually, it's a first level spell. Healing word? It is. I'm gonna give Olive a little bit here.
Thank you.
It's 9 for you at first level as a bonus.
Much appreciated.
My movement, however, is 0, so I'd like to keep Emily with flanking if possible. So.
It has no reactions right now, too, though. Or your movement 0.
No, I just want to make sure I'm on position for Emily.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Olive. You are up.
Olive is going to do magic missile at 2nd level.
I guess magic missile. One at each of your party members. Got it.
Yeah, at the snake. So that is going to be 4 darts of 16.
16.
Yeah, so
All right.
16
And
total.
with that impacting in, sort of bursts through, shatters the sort of tail going out from it. The head just kind of plops down unceremoniously between Emily and Maliath as they harry at it. And with that, we are out of combat as you see these 3 sort of Hulk's bodies left. Each of them has that sort of glowing organ. It's not quite like glowing and blasting off light, but they do appear like they're getting still sort of like some energy left in them.
I'm going to run away from the camel.
All right, the camel continues to chase as long
Yes,
as you continue to run.
I figured, and I presume that if I stop running, it tries to bite me.
Yes.
I love the idea of like
Okay.
doing like this, like running around like a kitchen counter, right? Like
Yeah.
you know, like
That's exactly what's happening, and the entire time she's yelling for Groost.
Can Groose run over?
Groost, make it a friend!
Groose, like, few little hairs singed and smoking, and just try and calm the animal.
Make an animal handling check, please.
Oh, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Uh,
Don't eat her. Just...
calms right down and just sort of sits down.
I didn't mean to stab it!
It's okay. Friends. We're all friends.
I'm gonna fly down. I'm still on the broom because why not? Do we want to take the other ones with us?
The other...
Hmm?
The
I
other
have
one.
it. I have it in me to take to do one.
Oh! Eloise! Dinner time.
I will
Gotcha.
allow this now because it's not what I thought it was.
They look pretty much the same as the one you found.
Bruce wants to offer a heart to Eloise to see if she's interested. If she's not, it's okay.
Then Groose to lead us.
All right. She kind of like smells at it, and so you're gonna let her eat it if she wants.
If she wants to.
Okay. I mean, she sort of sniffs at it, and I mean, it is like, you know, bigger than her head.
And petrified.
And so she goes in and tries to bite it and takes off a little chunk. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for Eloise, as a bolt of radiant energy comes streaming out of this thing with intense force.
47?
All right. Let's
417 if you read it with squinty eyes.
This is enough to kill Eloise. Here it comes. Sunray damage.
Ah, Eloise!
24 points of damage. How many hit points does Eloise have?
19. Groose will quickly cure
Alright.
wounds of Eloise
It
and clutch
knocks her
Eloise to
sort
his
of,
chest.
on off of you, holding her onto the ground, like completely singed. You hear that, like, just sort of hits the ground, and she's just like completely charred.
Eloise is about to have a Smeagol Gollum conversation how you just betrayed her.
Groose will cure wounds of Eloise
All right.
and cradle Eloise to his chest. Eloise, I'm sorry. I didn't know it would shoot bolt of sun in your eyes, brain, face.
It just sort of fades, and as this energy has been discharged, you can see that this one is much more dim than the others. It's still not completely out, but it seems like a bunch of the energy has faded a little bit.
I'm sorry, Eloise.
Everyone go ahead and make a nature or a perception roll, whichever you prefer.
I'll do nature.
I will also not do nature.
18.
Zahara and Maliath, you do notice something about the position of the Nagas, and where they are and where they're not.
Oh, it makes a J. Wait, I don't get it.
Oh.
The region of light versus shadow in where they are and where they're not.
They're not in the shade.
And you, like, thinking back through the fight, you're just kind of like, oh. Do with that information what you want, but it is something you observed. All right, well, one of the wagons is down and damaged. The other two camels appear safe, and one of them is being hooked up back to forward wagon there, as the other travelers sort of begin offloading some of the stuff, going through, taking, sort of sorting what they absolutely need and what they don't need into the others. Kind of thing.
Injured, please gather to me.
Thank you.
That was great.
15 for up to 6 creatures of my choice.
Thank you, Malaya.
That takes 10 minutes. It's a non-ritual 10-minute casting time. 15 to me as well, so that's
Do not
Is
like.
anyone still hurt?
I am at 28 out of 51 hit points.
Grist, you have healing magics. Go ahead.
I used much of my magics.
I have also.
Understood.
Did you have enough to heal Eloise?
that
from the
would have healed Eloise as well. With
prayer
the-
healing.
But I would have to choose Eloise, and I do not. That's fine.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your stuff. I'm just saying.
I am.
I could do another second level spell, I suppose, to heal whoever's still hurt. If there's more than a few of us, how's Emily
Emily is at full.
and Zahara?
I'm at full too.
Okay, so it's just Bruce and Olive.
Yeah.
Wait, does your wizard have more hit points than your rogue? Craziness.
I put a lot in con because I wanted to make sure my spells would last.
That's smart.
How'd that go?
It's been con's kind of helped me out a little bit.
I mean, she saved the slow against the thing.
Yeah.
If you hadn't saved that, the snake was coming up to get you the next.
Wait, did you
turn.
save the throw? I thought you failed this though.
I failed the first one, but the
Oh,
second
okay.
one
The
when it was
second
coming.
Gotcha.
the DC 15 one she got.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I made
suppose-
con my second highest stat because I just wanted to keep concentration on a lot of stuff.
Being alive is helpful.
Me
Yeah.
too. Didn't work out for me either. Even with Warcaster.
All right. Well,
All right, I'll do another prayer of healing.
sometime during the day.
Ah, jeez,
I'm full.
God awful.
Sometime
Thank you, Elias.
during the day.
It is sometime during the day.
The spells are very thin now.
Actually,
Higher level
you guys
spells, I should say.
were in the middle of a sort of trying to rest, so it's not night. It's not nighttime sun wise, but it is your nighttime. So that interrupted your sort of, let's say that was hour 3 of the 8 hours. So
Do we want to try and rest here right now?
Do you have another hut for us?
I could do that. Yeah.
Wait, maybe we should bring all of the stuff that we care about into the shade.
Indeed.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So let's circle the caravans over to the shade.
all right, can all be done. This one will just drag the dead horses around with it for now.
Oh, they're both dead?
Yeah.
The big bone snakes, they didn't come into the shade, so we should stay there while we rest. Goose says to the people.
It seems like a good idea to me. We're gonna be a little tight on space here. I think we can get all the supplies, but nothing extra.
I can fly. I mean, it's fine.
Time to
As
cook
we
those
go.
chickens.
Actually, I mean, I really could cook the chickens.
No, you cannot cook the chickens. Eloise does not like cooked chicken.
I would think that Eloise has eaten at least one of
Yeah,
the
she-
chickens by now.
Yeah,
One chicken every 4 days, no problem.
those are Eloise's
She's
chickens.
not super big, so yeah. She has been gnawing through them.
Oh, that's such a like chicken hardtack. Like just, I do think I try and like you know, make us a victory meal, if you will. There. So. But yeah, I will ritually cast the tiny hut again. I do look very, before I dispel Cosima, I'm like, almost like try to reach out and, is she transparent? Hang on.
It's up to
Or
you.
not transparent, she's spectral.
I think spectral was used.
Yeah. So, and I'm very pleased with it, but I'm like, we'll do this again, and I dismiss her.
The book nods.
Yeah.
As books can do.
Absolutely. Cosima totally nods. Yeah, and I'll ritually cast Tiny Hut again.
Alright. And as you hunker down in the shade, there's no more sort of bursts of bone snake things from the ground. You're able to achieve a very sunny, long rest. And as the next day comes, sort of over the 8 hours, you watch again as the winds begin to pick up. And it looks like today is windy and stormy. You had one day break from it. And you are well far enough into the desert now that all you see is desert around you in all directions. And you haven't seen civilization or any other people or anything like that since you left, which has been sort of a week and a half. As the winds pick up again and off back to travel you go. You do see, as you kind of get out of this rocky area, out, and your heart kind of sinks a little bit in that the sandy expanse ahead of you, there is no shade. Not a single shadow cast except by your carts, and even those are not very long through most of the day. Though you don't see anything from the creatures as you trudge forward. You would think that if there was a road or a path, you'd be able to see it, but you just sort of have to trust that the guides are kind of navigating, and they seem to be pointing at you, sort of like telling you like we're aiming for like between these two rises out on that. But as of right now, it is just a sea of slowly rolling sand dunes and winds just sort of whipping across. And even as you walk over the sand, your tracks behind you are just sort of, within minutes, sort of blown out, just sort of like, waves coming, washing over, wiping away footprints from sand on the beach. It is the same in this golden sea here, but with the winds. And on the third day from when you sort of have left this encounter, you see that the sun has stopped going down altogether. It does get slightly lower in the sky, but it never sort of goes below the horizon. So you get, instead of night, you just get this like extended period of like sort of sunrise, sunset, then it comes back up into the sky. So it's like the darkest it ever gets is sort of like Timor's background picture. And you see that for like, it's very pretty for 4 to 6 hours of the day.
Okay, I'll stay like this for 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah, just full immersion.
Yeah, I every time I cast the tiny hut, I am gonna make it dark so we can like get like the most restful night as possible. I also like to think that Olive is like casting the unseen servant to bring people water, like that whole like bucket and ladle thing, like as we're walking along, just to make sure people are kind of taken care of.
So we got a long rest after the battle, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on that third day, sort of as your dusk nighttime is approaching, it looks like you probably have another, hour of travel left in the steeds and such. You see out in front of you, as you crest over a dune, some sort of large structure in the middle of the sands. Not structure like building, but it looks like a bunch of sort of large curved arches, definitely geometric in shape, just curving up and interweaving sort of in between each other. Does not look like any architecture you've ever seen. And sort of this one large, almost like sort of spherical shape that's made by these like intertwining arches, is then sort of flanked by what it looks like small platforms that kind of come out along the ground, and then there's these other smaller arches out from it and like a plus sign. And looking at it, it is oriented sort of north-south and east-west with how this is sort of crossed over. And stopping maybe half a mile away, the guides sort of look at it and kind of turn to all of you, and they're like, That's not supposed to be there.
How do you know?
Well, this is a route we've traveled many times, and we're not off the trail. You can tell by aiming between these two large outcroppings there, and you look up, and there's two like fairly landmark-ish sized sort of large vertical rocks that have a specific shape to them. One of them kind of has like this overhang. One of the other guys says, "You could see the mouth at the top." It looks very, very, very vaguely like a mouth. But whatever that is, that's new.
Does it look new?
From where you're standing, it looks sort of like it's partially submerged in the sand. And looking at it, it looks like almost instead of like this like beam of light through through sort of like the clouds or something cast upon it, it's almost like there's a slight beam of shadow that's cast upon it, and that area is just a little bit darker. In that you would say that area is like shaded, whereas other areas aren't really. It's hard to tell where that shadow comes from, as the sky is not really that clouded at all. But it's about half a mile away, and so you can just start seeing this now. It's not not something you can pick out details of now. What would you like to do in this situation?
Do you want to go straight in and look?
I mean, presumably it has something to do with the fact that the sun stopped fucking off.
That's normally what, that's a scientific term. The
Yes.
sun fucks off, the sun fucks on, It,
Nighttime.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, jeez.
I was just really interested in what you guys were doing. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we, how far are we from it now?
About half a mile. So, another half an hour to get there. At a nice slow pace. I mean, if you, like, went off, scampering towards it, it would take...
I'll ask our guides, if you will. How much further is our trip? Or your trip?
It's been a little slow. We're about halfway.
Oh. I hate the desert.
It's a lot of storms, and with the heat, we're not making very good time. Animals tend to overheat.
Well, what will make animals overheat less?
Having less heat.
Yes. Exactly.
Mystery
so we're agreed.
solved.
We need to go into the temple.
I mean, I kind of say it, like, aside to, like, my party members. It's kind of why we're doing this, right? Aren't we going to explore a little? I think we should go in.
I'm okay with going in. I wonder if there's any caves in there. I miss the caves.
Your guides sort of, plod onwards towards it, and as you move up, you see that it's not really a building at all. It's just this weird, very almost otherworldly like structure that seems like it was not created by any sort of craftsman's hands. It was just sort of willed into existence by some, and it is very much sunken into the sand, as if almost perhaps it rose from the sand or was buried and has now been uncovered.
Is there any like symbology or like anything that looks like different runes or designs or language that, as we get closer to it, that might be in it?
Yes, it is covered in runes and things as you get closer.
Okay, I'm
Look at
gonna
that
use.
graffiti.
Oh, I can only concentrate on one at a time. Runes, not so much language, or language would be runes.
If you get up sort of close into it and near it, you will be able to see better. You will have a map once it loads.
I guess I just still need player clarification, though. Like, does it, or maybe character conversation. Are runes and language the same thing, or are they separate?
Runes can be of a language. Runes are more like sort of markings and such, so it's not like full words. There does appear to be language written on it, but I mean,
That's the one.
you're a good, 70, 100 feet away from most of it, so it's hard. There are like the markings on the outsides are they look to you like arcane like symbols, sigils, and that sort of thing, but written in a very elegant. Because you can almost have language to sigils in that sort of like a combination between style and handwriting and like characters, like the edges might be curved in a sigil from this language versus the same sigil in some other languages, is that. So it all looks very sort of like elegant and neat. It has been worn, you're guessing, through the sands of time, but definitely that sort of deep blue color to it.
Okay. I would like to send Cosima ahead, if that's okay.
All right.
With my party. Let's see. Oh, I
Sprouts
just
little
drew
legs.
you. Why can't I grab you?
Starts wandering.
Oh, there we go. Why can't I grab it? Oh, there we go. Sorry. So I can start 60 feet ahead of me.
Use the arrow keys, it'll move a lot easier.
Yeah. Oh, I was having an issue even selecting it. That's kind of where I got stuck. Okay. So I'm going to move it forward. There we go. And using my other... Sorry. There's so many different... I have lots of toys to play with, and I'm gonna use an action to cast comprehend languages. I can do that once using my word of describes feat.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast it's gonna be cast on Cosima. Like I can cast a wizarding spell through her, and she can communicate it to me what she sees.
All right. The language that you see up close is Celestial.
Oh shit! I know that. Wait a minute. Hang on.
There's language sort of written on like the insides of these, and you're seeing the outsides. So you wouldn't have necessarily seen like just straight up celestial writing, not arcane symbols to it. You would have guessed that the from the script that it would probably be a celestial or sort of like upper planes type language.
Okay.
Kira is here. What?
So I would have or would not have known that.
You probably would have guessed that.
All right, so I would like to, if I could, swallow that spell back.
No, we'll just let it be cast.
All right, that's fine. All right. So, looking at it, what is, so she doesn't see it on the outside, but if she was to go further inside?
Yeah, so on the inside of all of these things that have like the large runes, there's much sort of smaller writing that's written, sort of goes and then gets buried in the sand and then comes back around, and then there's sort of circles. From what you can discern, just at first glance, it appears that this is some sort of celestial gateway. Basically a... not quite a portal, but a means of traveling sort of from the upper celestial planes to the material world. Sort of the doorway, if you will.
Material.
Okay. And I can only cast spells through her. I can't necessarily do my checks. Like Arcana,
Yep.
That type of thing. But I do. So.
Oh, dang it.
She's seeing like different like celestial language. This is a potential gateway to the planes.
Well, the fact that it's unearthed here along our trip, where we are seeking out what Emily has seen in visions, warnings through her lineage, then there's no mistake. It's where we need to be.
Emily, do you think they would have, this person would have conjured this gateway? Or called it forth?
Not unless the person in question is some sort of very, very powerful magician or deity or something. I mean, this looks to me like a tool of the gods themselves, not a teleportation circle. I mean, every powerful caster I've known, if they need to travel to a different plane, they don't build something like this. This is immense. And it looks like this has been here for a while.
But this
With
one
the
you
sa-
said was, oh, go on.
Oh no, go ahead.
The one you said you were warned against was a former acolyte of Pelor, correct?
They didn't give me much information.
Just that he had received some strange blessing?
Had said long fallen disciple of Pelor. I don't know if fallen means dead or fallen means out of grace or what have you, but they said they were in possession of Pelor's greatest gift that was given in gratitude. But since the ominous nature of the warning, I can't imagine that this person has benevolent intent.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. If you were a very fallen, but in possession of something powerful, maybe this gate is indeed something you would try to exploit.
Or it's, I don't know, coincidence maybe?
Ah, Clinky Dinky, yes.
Seems unlikely. She just sort of walks a little bit closer and starts looking over things.
Oh, well, I take the defensive position about midway through. Right.
And you can walk sort of under this part, straight in, and it goes up. Like this is kind of the diameter of it. So I mean, it goes up a good, 70 feet in the air, curling around. These three intertwined.
Like Agra's one eye.
It's kind of beautiful in a way. There's an immense amount of writing in here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't read any of it, but
So the people went to Scorius and they said, your teachings and wisdom have been a blessing to us all. Is there any way we can capture such things? And Scorius slammed his hand down into the earth and created letters
well, he certainly
carved into stone.
did a lot
Just like this.
A lot of letter slamming to make all of this.
The last thing he was created was the question mark.
Oh,
Really?
So that his followers could continue to ask him questions.
But Gravigates has wings.
I have a pen. It's okay. Anyway, I would like to. Olive would like to continue to read and as much as she can of this.
As you step in towards like the center of this, you do notice, Olive, that's sort of tied up on your hip. The Atlas of Endless Horizons book starts to sort of like twitch and glow and sort of thrum with energy in a way that is like noticeable, like it's reacting to this in some way. It's still very much bound together, but
Olive is like slightly excited that she might have like 2 book friends, but it's just kind of like, oh wow, all right.
Oh, that's your side book. Oh.
No. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. So. Emily, you didn't happen to take the Heart of Crecto with you, did you? I mean, just out of curiosity.
No, it's quite large.
Oh, okay. I mean,
If it's large, how does it fit in the book?
magic things get bigger and smaller all the time.
You probably wouldn't need the whole thing. What does it have to do with the book?
It's locked. And we think it's locked with something from Crecto.
It's probably just some of the energy contained in the heart that you need then. It's an incredible conduit for sort of the primordial storm energy. Crecto is a storm giant.
Oh.
You didn't, like, find a way to bottle it or anything, did you?
No.
You can't blame me for asking, right?
We can. I will.
We blame Roost.
She just sort of continues looking around.
I suppose you should detect your magics, Olive, maybe?
Yeah, I can. I had some other stuff up, but that's all right. Okay, I
No
will
worries.
detect.
Goose can also do it if you have concentration up.
Well, I guess actually I can.
No, that's fine. That's good.
Sorry, no, that's weird. Detect magic. I'm sorry. I thought comprehend language would have been concentration. It's not.
Oh,
So I
it's
can
fine.
do detect magic.
Go ahead. I'll just sit over here and look smooth.
You can do it. Do you get to do it as a ritual or is it a spell for you?
I get to do it as a ritual. But
Okay. Do you want to do it instead?
no,
It's a spell to spite you. I did it.
I value the ability to guilt you over it more than the actual casting of the spell. So you cast, I'll sit here and sulk.
Okay.
I pat Roost's head.
Cosima comes over and fans him. I will cast this as a ritual.
Which is a ritual?
Detect magic.
Right. Anyone doing anything during the 10 minutes of casting? No? Okay, good. Casting completes, the spell fails.
Okay.
Fear.
I'm gonna try something real quick. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand.
Mage Hand seems unaffected.
Okay. I'm unable to detect anything. Groose, I don't know if maybe your connection to the celestial or to the divine might give you something closer or whatnot, but I don't know if it's gonna work in here.
I mean, I can spend 10 minutes if you think it's worth it.
So,
Are these giant lazy Susans?
They do not. They do not spin. It's sort of like stepped up, like a dais. Since you can read celestial, and it appears that the interior of this is it's all just sort of written in like celestial like prose almost, and there is like it's almost like how like on the upper portions of like old Greek buildings and such like. There's sort of like the frieze that has like the panels that go through, and it's a little less sort of pictographical and more text, but you get the sense that it is each one of these like blocks that's segmented off, and this does sort of tell bits and pieces of a story, except they do get sort of buried into the sand going. It'll take a little bit of time to kind of like work your way through it all, but
Olive conjures her quill and starts to kind of take notes, kind of like based on what she's seeing, and what gaps there might be or whatnot, to try to like roughly, kind of sketch and make notes on them out, like diagram it.
And looking over the whole thing as a whole, now that you're in here, the center circles are purely arcane sigils. They're not part of the same sort of celestial thing of the rings around it. Groose, were you casting Detect Magic as well?
Sure, Groose will cast.
Alright. Upon completion, the spell fails.
I do
cast
not
it.
see anything. But it's not that I see nothing. It's that it failed,
Yeah.
which
The,
is
the spell
different.
the spell successfully completes, but then nothing happens. So you
Oh.
know you cast it correctly, but it's just nothing happens.
Okay.
It's not that like, oh, I'm detecting magic, I don't detect anything. It's just that like it just sort of like fizzles as it comes out.
Gotcha.
It's likely suppressed by some sort of non-detection, maybe. Step outside the inner ring?
Groose steps outside the inner ring and recasts.
I will do it alongside Groost.
Well, if it's suppressed, it'll come back right away.
The entire time Groose casting, she keeps looking over and doing it a little bit faster.
This is not a race, little one.
Little bits of spell components just going everywhere.
It's like
Both of your spells complete at 1 action plus 10 minutes. If you want, you can roll it. You can roll initiative to see who finishes first if you want.
All I'm saying is, Groose didn't take the time to say it's not a race. Groose is like 4 words ahead of Olive.
All right. Both of the
I
spells,
will let you win this. It's fine.
Both of the detect magics complete, and the spells do seem to take. You don't see anything from this, but the spells do.
Groose is gonna.
You do see, like, looking at each other, you do see each other's magical items, but you don't see any magic on this thing.
Groose is gonna lean through the ring. Trying to find where the boundary is.
It seems like it, as you stick your head back out, you can't see any more detect magic, like the spell is gone.
Okay. The wing is a wing of no detect magic. I think that's the official term.
It is. It is the official term. I'm glad you knew that. Is there any connection to the divine that either of you have here?
I mean, I can augury, if that's what you're asking.
Are you going to augury?
No, I was asking Olive if she wanted me to, but she's talking to her book.
Oh, what?
Well role played. So Olive completes the conversation with her book.
So, I mean, I can cast augury if that's what you were asking.
Well, this is clearly has a connection to the divine. I just don't have those kind of tools at my disposal. You know.
McLubiet, are you listening? If you're listening, make me taller. Please.
Groost, you're a good height just as you are.
Also, not the way augury works.
I wasn't casting augury. I was seeing if I had a connection with the divine.
You don't feel any taller.
I have no connection with the divine here. All McLubiet is out
Just
for
very
lunch.
scientifically, we figured it out.
So, like, you know, Olive's like taking the time, you know, and I think actually she's getting Cosima to help her to kind of like, you know, look at different parts and kind of, you know, observations or whatnot. Is there any conclusion that she's coming to from, you know, what she's observing?
read it. So taking the time to read through will probably take a good 10-15 minutes to go through sort of in detail and read all the writing, kind of put the pieces together and do all of that. First thing that immediately strikes you is the name Ikarsha has been is referenced again and again in this. So it seems like whatever this sort of story portrays, Ikarsha is sort of the main player. And then there's also pretty easy to figure out Pelor, God of the Sun, is also sort of another prevalent thing in this. But the way it approaches it is not necessarily from a religious standpoint of the worship of Pelor, but more from sort of like an agnostic, like Pelor is just like another person amongst a community of celestial gods, right? It's not like, this is not by any means like a temple to Pelor or anything like that. It's just like, hey, there's this guy Pelor and he was doing this stuff. Oh yeah, and he was a god here. So it's like a very neutral sort of, viewpoint in the telling of all of it. Going through, let's make, what skill do you want to use to try to, decipher this and get pieces of the puzzle?
I think that, I think history, because, Olive does know Celestial, so I feel like she has done some study of celestial history, or like, kind of like deity history and things like that. It's not so much like the religion part and beliefs, but the stories of, history and religion and whatnot. So that's a 21.
All right, very nice. So going through and piecing it together, you all kind of wait as she goes through and take looks yourself if you would like as well. It seems to tell the story of someone known as Ikarsha, who was a disciple, a priest of Pelor, the god of the sun and light, but became more and more sort of obsessive and fanatical about it, and seemed to believe that the passage from day to night was actually an affront to Pelor as a god, and sought to bathe the world in an endless sun. And it depicts him sort of slowly plunging into insanity, and then just as the sort of this section of it goes into the sand where you can't read it anymore, there's this new character, this new figure appearing in it that looks very twisted and evil, and it looks to be some sort of like powerful demon entity thing. It just uses the word demon there, and then sort of the rest is sort of obfuscated, as in this new demon thing has been introduced towards Ikarsha. And then coming back on sort of the other side, if you sort of follow where the ring would go out and back around, it shows Ikarsha, sort of the figure that you've seen and now recognize as this. It looks like they're performing some sort of ritual or something with a powerful artifact. It seems like a book that's placed on an altar. And then there's just this like release of energy, and then the next sort of frames in it, going sort of back down around and disappearing into the sand again, just depict sort of like devastation, and then it just goes into sort of like pictures of the desert, and then it literally returns back into the desert. There, and so that's sort of like one ring, and then the other ring that sort of follows around, since you rolled so high and kind of piece a bit more of this together, shows a picture of the structure you're standing in now, and it looks like avatars of Pelor coming through it, and the next few the next few sort of things depict kind of like a search and a confrontation between the avatars in Akarsha that seems to end in failure, as they don't seem like they can reason with him or hurt him, or he's somehow resisting them. And it just sort of ends with all of it again. It has the exact same sequence as before. All of it again returning to desert. And then it just disappears back into the desert.
I want to look at the cover of the book of Endless Horizons. Does any of the symbology on that book match, the picture of that in the ring?
None of it
By
matches.
Akarsha. Oh, there's an author.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
No match. It's stylistically completely different. None of it is celestial in nature. It looks much more arcane and doing all of that. From what you know from your identify about the book, this book is all about sort of transplanar travel and all of that. So this
right.
It is connected in purpose, not in history.
Okay. So I begin to kind of relate, very, very much. I think Olive is turned on her museum docent type of way of talking, and walks people through each ring. And note, if you see this, you can see that Palor, and keeps going, and the tome, and we're missing this part. Wish we could rotate it, and then continues with the second ring too, doing that very kind of like museum docent type of a demeanor, very scholarly, very excited, about those areas.
Where's the basement? I'm sorry.
Where's the basement?
I'm sorry.
I don't understand.
When you said museum doesn't, I just remembered TV's movie where they go to the Alamo and he goes through a whole tour. And at the end she goes, "Is there any questions?" I'm sorry, I'm just out of it.
Okay. Does I say to Emily, does Akarsha ring a bell to you?
There is in Chora, the longest day of the summer is usually called the Akarshan sun.
Well, that kind of tracks with this.
Beyond that, no.
Do you think with the return, I was saying to everybody, with the return of a very long, the fact that the sun's been out, that Akarsha's made a return?
Seems like at least something that once was buried in the sand has made a return, and with the weather, maybe. I mean, is this... You said this was some sort of conduit?
Yeah?
Gateway? Can you turn it on?
Well, I might have if I could have accessed this book. I point to the book in my other book in my hip.
I mean, surely whomever used this before didn't have that book. I mean, it's just a bunch of magic here. Isn't it just a... on it goes?
I prestidigitate some sparks, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't work like that. I need to learn more.
What about you, little man? You have McGloviet, who's...
Yes. Go on.
Can you activate this? Pray for it? Something?
I can play. Groot's gonna go and stand in the center, lift up his staff to the sky, and start a little dance. Great
No,
Maglabius!
just please. I'm sorry.
Great Maglabius! No, Great Maglabius!
He's started, you can't
Prove
stop
to
him.
these mortals that you are the greatest god that ever lived, and also make me taller.
I lean over to Olive. Do gods live?
I don't know, but just to make him feel better, I do prestidigitate some like kind of like radiant, like looking like sparks or whatnot.
It's working.
That's-
It's working.
Despite Groot's insistence, otherwise it does not seem to work.
Emily, you are the only one on us that I know of that has a token of Pelor on them.
Is Pelor like Maglubia?
I
Well,
do, yes. It's more of a personal keepsake than a mark of piety.
I know. I just didn't know if Pelor would respond to the, a keepsake or heirloom of two of his, devoted servants, and you.
She just sort of walks in and like slowly takes it off, and looks at it, like puts it down in the center, and then steps back and looks back at you.
It's worth trying.
Scoops it back up. I'm afraid I'm not magical in that way. You can see the caravan has kind of caught up with you a little bit, and they've kind of like parked just on the outside of the shade here and seem to be set up, taking a little rest, but keeping a distance from this. And the sun continues to blaze on, but here it's shaded. Temperature is somewhat comfortable. And with this ineffable structure around you, you will end wondering
The party's life.
what is this? What is the purpose of this structure? What can it do for us? What can it tell us? We will find that out on next Monday on the last page. There will be no Thursday game this week, as we will be sort of re-prepping for a new Campaign there, and
Campagny.
hopefully not this week, but next week. We'll see. Depends on how Timor feels in, prepping stuff and all of that. And we will return, definitely still going on Mondays, though. So see you all next week on Monday at 7:30. Thank you to Roll20 for having us as part of the Spotlight program. Also, thanks to Kevin MacLeod for this wonderful track, Thunder Dreams. We also have been hearing Return of the Mummy and The Desert Awaits. Actually, The Desert Awaits is by Tabletop Audio, as is Desert Winds, which we're listening to right now. We heard Anamali as the theme for Colonel Bend, which, is not probably going to be played anymore. And there was, I think, a couple others in there, sort of the usual action tracks, and that just about does it. Check us out on Twitter, on Twitch. Hit the follow button. Thank you for, there was a renewed subscription, but that doesn't pop up in something but chat. I don't remember who it was, but thank you very much for that. Hand giant radiant heart beam of death thing for you. Pew. They're delicious.
You've taken 86 damage.
Yeah. Deck save. Maybe half of that. Cool. Anything else? It was Devil's Eldest. Thank you, Devil's Eldest. Yeah. Am I missing things?
Nope.
Not about the show, at least. Cool. So next week. Thank you all. Welcome to chapter 2. We were kind of like 1.5. We had a few short chapters. Call this chapter 3. The first ones were shorter. Cool.
Excellent.
Great.
Hell yeah.
Tremendous.
Fantastic.
Incredible.
Scrumtrolescent.
Median.
Convalescent. You're right.
Single standard
It's okay.
deviation.
Mode.
I don't have math terms.
You got
Addition.
nothing math.
No math terms.
No math on you. None.
None.
Wait, Dora, don't you work at a bank?
I do, yeah. APY.
Late fees.